Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Different Short Stories Collections Movie 1. Before we start, please go support Joe's Angel Pez 1 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Story 1. What if Issei was betrayed and was reincarnation of Raiden? Clarifications. 1. Issei will be Raiden. 2. Vali will be Sam. 3. Issei will have Yusaka and Vanillana as partners. 4. All the leaders betray him. 5. There will be fun. 6. It will almost be like the story of the video game. 7. Issei will have Raiden's first armor and then he will have his second improved one. 8. Issei will fight with the villains of the video game, but they will be the ones from the anime. Chapter 1. A painful betrayal. Our stories begin when they won the random game of their cousin from Ria's. But one day the girls met a very handsome young man and he treated them well, and little by little they fell in love with him, leaving aside Issei, who no longer slept with him and did not even talk to him, and Drake stopped talking to him, and this made Issei feel bad, but the only ones who did talk were Yusaka, since she fell in love with Issei. And Vanillana, since she liked Issei. Her husband Sudeikis did not talk to her and always said that he had things to do. And one day Issei worked up the courage to confess to the girls, but when he got home moans could be heard and Issei went up the stairs, and as he went up they were heard more, and when he saw that they all had sex with a boy. Ria's yes my love hit me harder. The Kendo ara don't stay with my beloved Kevin. Issei, seeing that everyone was being caught by that guy, Issei kicked the door out of rage, and everyone seeing who it was saw that it was Issei, and all with angry faces told him what he was doing. Issei, why are you doing this to me? I loved you, I gave you my bucking life more than once. And talk laughs. Rias, we never loved you, you were just a tool, just that. Asia, I never loved you, we're just acting. Rias, now you will give me the pawn and Drake pieces. Issei will not give them to Drake, thus trying to activate his armor, but it would not appear, and in that arena and Zenobia make a cut to Issei in the arms and feet, and in that Rias takes out the pawn pieces and he gives a desperate cry, and in that a green sphere comes out, thus taking a human form. My name is not Drake, my name is Elizabeth, and I have always been a female. Now I will go with my new partner. So I healed his feet and asked Issei to leave like this, arriving all destroyed. Meanwhile, with Venezuelan, she saw with sadness her husband having sex with another woman and that they enjoyed it very much. He left the underworld towards the human world walking while crying. Meanwhile with Yusaka, she was about to go see Issei, but she went to see him. Meanwhile with Issei, he went to a bench sitting down crying, and then he saw a lady sitting down and crying, and when he saw she was Venezuelan. Issei, Vanillana, what happened to him, why is he doing it? Vanillana, my husband cheated on me with a woman, I saw them having sex with that boar. Issei, I see, I think we both suffer the same thing. Vanillana, and what happened? Issei, also the girls tricked me and took away my pawn pieces and Drake, and who was actually a woman. Vanillana, I see, now what do we do? Issei, I really don't know. And then Yusaka arrives and sees them. Yusaka, Issei and Miss Venezuelan, what are you doing at this time of night? Issei, te lo vemos a counter. So Issei telling him everything that happened, just like Vanillana. Yusaka was full of rage because they did it to them. But then some trucks arrived like this. Seeing that they were soldiers. Soldier 1. Who is Issei? Haidu. Issei is me, and what do you want? Soldier 1 was chosen to work for a maverick company. Issei, Uvio. Soldier 2, come with us and with your wives. Issei blushed, boo, good. So Issei, Yusaka and Vanillana go to the company. And in that we are received by a man. Boris, hello, so you have arrived. Issei, hello, and who are you? Boris, my apologies, my name is Boris the First, I'm the head of this private company. Issei, I see, and well, why did you call me? Boris would not like to work for our company. Issei, and what do I have to do? Boris, would you help us stop a politician who wants to cause a war, and for that he will try to kill the prime minister? Issei was well accepted. Vanillana, are you sure? Issei, I remember that you no longer have Drake. Boris, don't worry, Issei's wife. Here we can improve it to a cyborg. Issei, como que un cyborg? Boris, the soldiers who work here, some are enhanced and others are cyborgs, and tell me, do you want to become a cyborg? Issei was thinking about it, okay, I accept. Yusaka, are you sure? Issei. Issei, of course, and if you want to tell me something, tell me. Yusaka, you know, since I met you I was in love with you and I want you to be my boyfriend. Issei was blushing at such a confection. And that's what Venezuelans are talking about, you know, Issei, I also want to live with you and I also want you to be my boyfriend. Issei was thinking about it, and that's what he talks about. Issei, of course I will be her boyfriend and now I will protect them and then you kiss them. Boris, well, come with me, Issei. Issei is fine, and together with the two women they go to a laboratory, seeing a bald young man with a strange hairstyle. Doctor, hello Boris. Boris, hello doctor, I want this young man to get better. Doctor, of course I'll make improvements. Boris will be a cyborg. Doctor, okay. Okay, ladies, can you please leave? Isaka and Venelana are fine, take care of yourselves, love. Issei, don't worry. Doctor, follow me like this. I went to the operating room where there were several men and women dressed in blue suits. Doctor, sit down and relax so they can inject me with anesthesia and so little by little I will become unconscious. So the doctors will improve it. In Issei's mind, where am I? Unknown is in your mind. Issei, who is there? Unknown turns around. So Issei turned around. Seeing a young man with white hair and had a futuristic ninja suit. Issei, who are you? Unknown called me Raiden and you are my reincarnation. Issei Kane Sirio. Raiden, that's right, I also worked for this company for a while. Issei Yuvio. Raiden, well let me tell you my story, so Raiden telling you the whole story of the game. Issei, wow, I'm surprised. Raiden, you want to be my reincarnation. You will have my appearance and you will also be able to take off the suit and activate it as many times as you want and you will have 3 of my abilities. Issei, and those would be. Raiden, well the first one is katana mode that allows you to freeze time and increases the speed of your sword so you can cut it faster. Ninja race allows you to increase your speed to 70%. And finally, the Ripper mode is consistent with your suit changing to red and both skills increasing to 90%, but that will be when you are upgraded for the second time. Issei, well accepted. So Issei and Raiden holding hands. And when he wakes up he sees that he is in a bed and when he looks in a mirror he sees that he looked like Raiden. Issei, bien. And that's where Yusaka and Venelana come in. Both Issei, are you? Issei, claro. Venelana, I passed your hair walking and your face. Issei, well I'll tell you like this, telling you about your reincarnation. I see both. Issei, well girls, how do I look like this seeing your armor? You both look good. Issei, thank you, now I will protect them with my life. And that's when Boris and the doctor come in. Doctor came out well. Issei, Boris could do me a favor. Boris, of course it would be. Issei, could change my name. Boris, of course, and what will you be called now? Issei, my name will be Raiden. Boris, good name. Issei, and for my social life it will be Jack. Boris lets me fix the papers like this and goes to change the name. Doctor, we already have a room especially for you. Raiden is fine. Note here, I will call him Raiden, end of note. So Raiden and the girls go to their room. When they arrive, Issei deactivates his armor, although Issei's body is now toned, so Venelana and Yusaka blush. Raiden and Issei would both like to try you out. Chapter 2. Repentance. We stayed where Venelana and Yusaka were going to test Issei. So Venelana kissed Issei and he reciprocated and Yusaka took off his clothes and threw them into the house and then Issei spoke. Issei, it's my first time so I won't be gentle. Venelana, I want you to make me yours. Yusaka, me too, love. Lemon skipped. Venelana, you were great, love. Yusaka, that's right. Issei, thanks, you like that, kissing them like that, falling asleep. Meanwhile with the girls. They were in Issei's room without a shine in their eyes and in their critical mentality. And they will wonder why they are like this. Well. Flashback. It all starts 6 months ago when the girls were improving their relationship, but one day they all realized that their current partner was no longer talking to them and one day they were surprised to see their new boyfriend who was with another girl. When they saw him they went to talk to him. And then they spoke. Ria's Kevin, what does this mean, he said it angrily. Heaven, swimming alone enjoying my date with my partner. The kendo then for you, who were we, give you our love and our first time. Heaven, you were just a hex toy to me, you were nothing. And I'm surprised that they left the only man who loved them and valued them and even respected them. And then they all remembered to say. Heaven, ha 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 ha, they were just a hobby. And then they all started to increase their power and then they both got scared. And then the girls kill their ex and his girlfriend. And then they go to the underworld and tell Surziches about what happened and then they go to look for his body and they don't find it since Elizabeth told them about the fall of the dragon and she didn't mention about the ritual and everyone thinking that he had died since being with her ex-partner, they all imagined Issei dead. After weeks passed where they didn't find them, they entered a very critical depression because you'll see. Let's go with Akeno, she was on the wall imagining that she was talking to Issei since she wrote his name on her stomach with a knife. Let's go with Ria's, it was worse since she made a plush in the form of Issei and she was carrying it. Ria's, yes, Issei Jr., I also miss your father very much and I hope he comes back so he can meet you and the 3 of us can be happy. Well, with Zenobia she was the same as Ria's, she made 4 stuffed animals, one she had on her stomach as if she were pregnant and the other 3 were in her arms. Zenobia, yes my baby, I hope your dad comes back before you are born and sees your siblings. I said this, well I had a stuffed animal of Issei and one of 2 girls. Well, with Roswas he was like the others, he made one but bigger, and he imagines that he was doing it with the. And they were all almost skinny since they didn't eat and didn't even leave Issei's room. All in the mess. We will find you, Issei, no matter what it costs. Meanwhile, with Sudeikis, he was happy with his wife and son, no matter what happened, he does not regret having left his ex-partner. And meanwhile with Serziches and Grafia, they were helping the girls with their contempt and what they would do to find him, and if they found him he would warn them. End of flashback. Meanwhile, with Raiden, he was prepared for his training. Thus, he trained his sword and his skills. And Boris sent him on missions where he eventually became an expert with the sword. And one day he said that it was time for him to take care of the Prime Minister. He accepted. Chapter 3. Beginning of the failed mission. We stayed where Boris told Raiden to take care of the Prime Minister. So he went to take care of Africa. So I went in a limousine where one was an Issei and the Prime Minister, and in the second one the girls were touring the city and that the Prime Minister speaks. Prime Minister, 3 years, we have made a lot of progress in just 3 years. Advisor is because we have a great leader, sir. Prime Minister is not the will of the people and a very capable advisor. Advisor, thank you, sir. Prime Minister, your team also deserves recognition, Mr. Lightning. Raiden is our job, Mr. Prime Minister. Prime Minister, I must admit that groups like you were opportunists and facilitated the war, but I trained our army well, and order was restored sooner than I expected. My opinion about the private military companies was wrong. Raiden, sir, we prefer to be called a private security company. Most of Maverick's projects do focus on security. Prime Minister, yes, well, security can mean many things. He said this while they were protected by tanks. Meanwhile in the other limousine were Venelana and Yasaka. Venelana, do you think our love is okay? Yasaka, of course, now that he is a cyborg and he is the Lightning, I don't think anyone can beat him. Back with Issei, they are silent but he speaks. Raiden, there is a saying that goes. The intimidation of a sword keeps the other sheathed, sometimes only the threat of violence is enough to deter, sometimes death serves to save other lives, that is the code in which the samurai lived. Prime Minister, a soldier and philosopher, is full of surprises, Mr. Lightning. Raiden, that could say about you, Prime Minister. But that's where they stop. Advisor passing by. Courtney, someone is blocking the main car, stay. Meanwhile, in front of you, you could see in the distance a young man in a cyborg suit, and it was none other than Sam, or his previous name Volley Lufasier, and that was what the soldier who was at the machine gun was saying. Soldier, clear the way, this is state business. But then the Volley takes out his katana, which was red, and you could see that many electric shocks were coming out of it. Soldier, I told you to clear the way. We are authorized to use force if you do not. I can't finish because Sam ran towards the soldier while he was shooting, and Sam dodged him very easily, so he jumped and cut him in half, and then more tanks arrived surrounding Volley and more soldiers came out. Courtney, Leopardo, one of the U-turn, we are back. So both limousines would leave while the soldiers would point their weapons at Volley, so that he would then give them a smile. Soldier, open fire. Already in Venelana and Yasaka's limousine, they asked what had happened, and the driver told them that they had been attacked. But they say these were escaping. Advisor, who the hell was he? Raiden on cyborg. Leopard 2, one of our adversaries. And that's where Boris talks on the tablet. Boris, Courtney, what's up? Courtney, they attacked us, sir, it was a cyborg. Boris, whose? Courtney, the indexer told us that he was not affiliated. Boris, I will inform you at all the checkpoints, get Enmani out of there. Courtney, yes sir. But out of nowhere they were attacked by a bazooka and had to turn back while the enemies killed the soldiers, but out of nowhere, several trailers would surround the place with many walls, so the robot would turn around more. Advisor, we are going to die. Prime Minister, keep calm. But they were also blocked, so both cars would go to the left, but 4 soldiers stopped them. Venelana, we are surrounded, we have no way out. Isaka, don't worry, leave it to our husband, the one in charge. Venelana, you are right. Well, with Issei, seeing that they were surrounded, Courtney speaks. Courtney, there are more of them at 12 o'clock. Boris, Raiden. Raiden, I'll take care of the Prime Minister and my wives. So he got down and took off the suit he had on to reveal his armor. And then he opened the suitcase revealing his katana, taking it out slowly, and as he took out the katana electric shocks came out, and with just 2 cuts, he destroyed the wall behind him, allowing the girls and the Prime Minister to escape. Raiden, let the show begin. Thus fighting against the cyborgs who defeated them easily, but Boris told him that they had problems with their wives and that he should go immediately, thus arriving at the place, but he saw that a bald man who had a different armor took the minister and thus gave his talk, and then he jumped and Raiden tried to reach him, but he threw his robot. Thus fighting and managing to defeat him. Chapter 4. Old Rivals Fight. We stayed where Raiden defeated the robot, meanwhile with the subject better known as Loki, since he has become a cyborg. He was taking the Prime Minister, but out of nowhere many tanks arrived surrounding him, so he saw the train and jumped very high until he reached the train. Soldier who passed. But they are raiding running at a fast speed. Raiding demons. So running and jumping to some buildings and then jumping again, reaching the end of the train and reaching the front, and he saw Vali and Loki and the Prime Minister tied in chains, and Loki spoke. "Loki, you're late, hero. I no longer need this one as a shield." And so he puts his sword on his neck, cutting his neck a little. So he cuts the chains, and the Prime Minister asks Raiden for help, but Vali gets in the way. "Vali, do you mind if I interrupt you, old rival? Loki now declare war on us, thus killing the Prime Minister." Raiden, no. So Loki throws the dead body, but a helicopter arrives and leaves. Loki laughs while Vali blocks his way. "Raiden, out of my way, Vali." And so he attacks Issei, moving him away a little. "Loki is all yours, Sam." Thus beginning their fight. After their fight they stopped the train. Then took Raiden down, who was badly injured, and took him back to the company. After about 3 hours, he woke up and received a hug from Alana and Yasaka. Then Alana, "You fool, don't scare us like that." Yasaka, "That's right, we thought you were dead." Raiden, "Forgive me for worrying you, and also Vali was very strong that I." Then Alana, "Como Pellis contra Vali." Raiden, "Like that, and not only that, it also seems that they revived Loki, and I'm sure that everyone I've faced about that is not sure." Yasaka is probably. And then Boris arrives. Boris, "Parece que estás bien." Raiden, "That's right, and I also ask you a favor." Boris, "And that would be?" Raiden, "Get me better again." Boris is fine, let me tell the doctor, but in the meantime he rests. Raiden is fine. So going to his apartment. Once inside they were talking, and then Boris tells him that tomorrow they were going to improve him for the second time, and then they would go to sleep the next day. Issei went to where the doctor is to improve him, and so 4 hours pass, and Raiden comes out with his new armor. Raiden, "Great, now I can increase my power and train more." Then Alana, "You look good, love." Raiden, "Thanks." Yasaka, "And now what will you do with your new armor?" Raiden, "I will continue training to be able to fight Vali." So he started his training, spending 3 weeks where he improved his skills more. Meanwhile with the leaders they were in a meeting talking about the search for Issei and Venalana and Yasaka. It must be said that the girls were still being cared for. Surziches, well, I call them because maybe I've discovered Issei's location, and in that all the girls throw themselves at Surziches, who told them where he was. They said it with desperation. He tells them out of fear that maybe he's in the Asgartia region. Well, it's probably there, above my mother and Yasaka. It's not known yet, but surely they're fine with him, but if anything, we'll go look for them. Everything was fine. Michael, well, with this it is clear, within a week we will go look for him, you can leave. Story 2, What if Issei was betrayed and creates the Peaky Blinders? Chapter 1, The Betrayal. It all starts when Issei defeated the Trixa. Everything was calm and he married his harem, but everything changed because after a year, the girls began to distance themselves from him. They didn't even sleep with him. The only ones they were with at all times were Kuroka and Roswas. They slept with him and even flirted with him, but they left due to a mission. Issei was left alone, and one day of the end Issei went out to the street, but without thinking that it was his biggest mistake, since he saw his wives with other guys kissing. This broke his heart, and without them realizing it, he ran to his house and went into his room crying, but then he started to vomit blood and asks Drake. Issei, "That's what I have." Drake is the fall of the dragon that kills our power as it changes to a poison that kills us little by little, and tells him that there is a ritual that will save him, but that has a cost. Issei, "What cost has?" Drake, "That you will feel immense pain and that your appearance and personality will change, as will you." Without thinking, Issei accepts, draws a dragon with his own blood and gets into the circle and begins the ritual and starts screaming. 2 hours after the ritual, Issei wakes up and already feels bad for his ex-wives, but the only ones he loves are Kuroka and Rosvazer. He looks in the mirror and sees that his appearance has changed a lot, including his voice. He looked in the mirror, took a bath, put on a gala suit and left, if not before leaving the pawn pieces of Rias. Then he went to the underworld to talk to the Surges, and when he arrived the Surges asked him who he was. Issei told him that I am Issei. Surges was surprised to see him changed and asked him what had happened to him. Issei tells him everything that happened. Surges was very angry about what his sister had done. Issei tells him to cancel his commitments with them, with the exception of Kuroka, and Rosvazer already told him that they never left him. Surges accepted and asks him, "What will your name be now?" without them recognizing each other. Issei, "My name will be Tomas Shelby," and he Surge's good name and tells him that he had been Ascensio to upper class, and they will give him his chess pieces, and he thanks him, and after that he retires from the underworld. Chapter 2 begins training and recruiting old friends. After Issei left the underworld he went home, took a bath and ate and left the country to train. After 6 months, Issei mastered the balance breaker, and in those 6 months, he also developed an ability that everything he touches can harm any supernatural being. As the year passed, Issei returned to Kuo City and went home, and Issei had to return to school, so Issei fell asleep. The next morning, he woke up and took a bath and put on his formal suit and went to the academy. Meanwhile at the occult club, I was Riaz, Akeno, Asia, Kaneko, Ravel, Irina, Zenobia were sad and in their minds, where are you Issei and well, how did they end up like that? Flashback. In those 6 months the girls realized that their current boyfriends were cheating on them, and when they told them about their cheating boy 1, I was already bored of you Akeno. Boy 2 were just a hobby. 3, I'm surprised they left the only man who loved them, respected them as they were, they all remember to say. Riaz because I was a fool how could I cheat on my husband the only one who truly loved me, and that they left devastated and went to Issei's room, but when they entered they saw his chess pieces Riaz and the other girls cried non-stop. End of flashback Issei. While with Issei he was walking like that to school all the girls were looking at him girl 1 how handsome he is. Girl 2 will be new. Girl 3 will have a girlfriend. Once entering he went to where the area was and knocked on the door and heard a passage. Zone who you are and you are new. Issei I'm surprised you don't recognize me Zone. Zone I don't remember you. Issei it's me Issei. Zone would be surprised to see how much he had changed and asks him what had happened to him and where he was so Issei tells him everything that happened until the day the girls betrayed him. That damn area of Riaz, how could he do that to you? Issei, that doesn't interest me anymore, I don't want to know anything about them anymore and I also came here to study again. Zone was fine Issei tomorrow you will study again and Issei leaves the place the next day Issei returned to school and once arriving at his classroom, Issei sits in his chair at that the 2 friends of Issei got angry and say to him Mitsuda hey cute boy, that place belongs to our friend Issei. Motohama that's right so jump out of that chair. Issei all serious it's me Issei. At that everyone shouted that. Is it really you Issei? Issei nodded and the girls asked him and he is still the same pervert and he says no and that he has already left that aside. And the girls didn't believe him and they put him to the test which didn't work and in the end they believed him once the teacher arrived taking attendance until they got to Issei's name. Professor Issei Haim. Issei present at that moment would be surprised to see that Issei is alive. Issei sir teacher my name will change now. Very young professor and what will his name be? Issei is now Tomas Shelby. Very young teacher Shelby. Note from now on I will tell you Tomas end of note. In Ace's thoughts, I have to tell the president this during recess. Tomas would call his 2 friends on the roof. Issei finds it difficult if they believe in the supernatural and they say yes and Issei tells them everything about his adventures that happened until the day of betrayal. The 2 friends were surprised by what he told them. Tomas asks them if they would like to join my gang. Mitsuda and what is the name of your gang? Tomas is called the Peaky Blinders. And that they accept shots, but that will stop them from being perverts and also once among their chess pieces, they will also have an ability that everything they touch will be able to kill any supernatural being. So you take the insertion of the chess pieces Mitsuda has the rook piece. Motohama on the bishop you take well and from now on you must wear this suit that I am wearing they nodded and left the place. Chapter 3 Reunion. We stayed since Issei and Mitsuda and Motohama left the roof, they would go to their classroom where they spent the classes had ended and that he sees that Asia goes to the occult club in Tomas's mind. Tomas I think he will go to tell Riaz that I returned, then he would go home in the meantime, and then he would run to the club and open the doors. Asia president, I have news for you. Riaz and what is it? Asia is Issei has returned and that everyone would be surprised more Riaz. Riaz really came back my Issei. Asia yes but her appearance and voice changed a lot and she changed her name to Tomas Shelby. Akeno and why didn't you talk to her from the beginning? This is because he was wearing different clothes and I couldn't recognize him because his voice was different and his hair went from brown to black. Riaz tomorrow Kiba you bring it in the recess. Kiba was fine president and I leave president. Riaz is fine Kiba and that Kiba comes out. Riaz, Akeno, Kaneko, Zenobia, Irina, Asia would tell Asia about Issei. Meanwhile, with Tomas, he was at home drinking liquor. When Issei's parents arrived, he asked them who it was, to which Issei told them it was him. They were surprised to see that he had changed and asked him about his wives. Issei's son's mom where are your wives? Tomas it would be better if you sat down and I would tell you everything. Issei's parents would listen to him like that. Issei tells them that he is a demon and everything that happened until his betrayal and about the fall of the dragon and what he had to do. His parents were shocked and angry at the Gremory. At that point, his mother stands up very angry and Tomas takes him by the arm and tells him what are you going to do now, mother? Issei's mom, I'm going to beat up those hitches, how could they do that to you? Tomas, mom, calm down, that's already happened, so relax, I don't want you to have problems, that would calm you down. Issei's mom was fine son. Tomas good mother I'll go to sleep rest in that Tomas would go to sleep the next morning. Tomas would wake up and take a shower and get dressed in his elegant suit and get dressed and would go to the academy. On the way he goes to a store and buys a pack of cigarettes and a lighter and would arrive at the academy and sees his friends Mitsuda and Motohama dressed just like Issei and they would go together to the academy without knowing that a certain red-haired girl saw them as Issei. I hope you still have feelings for us. Once Tomas arrived at his classroom, he would go through classes normally and go out for recess. Tomas would go to a tree to eat while drinking liquor. Then a blonde boy would arrive. Diba Issei the president wants you to go to her classroom, but she saw that she had a glass of liquor. Diba Issei since when? You drink alcohol you have been drinking for a year. Diba well let's just go like this. Issei would go to the club. Once arriving at the club the girls would blush seeing Issei changed and that he would sit. Diba, here is Issei, just as I asked. Thanks Kiba. Then you take out a cigarette and light it. Why did you call me Miss Gremory? Rias Issei you never smoke can I ask you not to smoke take today I am a new man and I can do whatever I want. At that point, Rias would get angry. You take it well why did you call me on that Akeno would say something. The Keno is for you to come back to us we miss you a lot and we want to try again. You're serious after they tricked me and saw me as their toy they come just for that. Rias Issei please listen to us. Tomas my name is no longer Issei now I am Tomas Shelby and I do not want to listen to them and now I am a new man that is what he said while smoking his cigarette. I will tell you something I forgive you but I will never forget what you did to me and that Rias and the others were happy that means that we can go back with Rias. Tomas no. They can know what you forgave us. You take if I forgive them but that doesn't mean that we go back and that they would all cry. Take it well I'm leaving and that you laugh through tears. Rias Issei please come back with us and you were my pawn. Tomas and that you are wrong Rias your brother had promoted me to upper class and now I have my new entourage so I am free what I can do in that Tomas were amazed Tomas well I leave like that Tomas filling up leaving his ex-wives in tears and that Drake comes out. Drake you didn't exaggerate mate. Tomas not at all but Dryag. Drake well at least you have two females who still love you. Tomas you are right I still have Rosevaser and Kuroka left I wonder how they are. Meanwhile, the two were searching for Issei, Rosevaser and Kuroka for any clues about Kuroka. Rosevaser still nothing from our beloved. Rosevaser true, you have to ask Serges, he will know something about Issei Kuroka, that's true, let's go for it. They will go to the underworld, once they arrive they will go with Serges. They would ask her about him, and she would answer that he had arrived and he was at the academy, but she told them everything that happened to her at that point. The two were angry with the Gremory clan. And more Kuroka for what his sister did without anything else to do they went to look for their beloved while with Issei he was going back to his house and was lost in his thoughts without thinking that he had run into a girl. Tomas sorry lady for not seeing, I was lost in my thoughts. Girl nothing happens I was also in my thoughts. Tomas saw a beautiful woman. She had pink hair, red clothes and had horns that made her look very pretty. Girl what is your name? Tomas my name is Tomas Shelby and you? My name is 02, note here I took another and I'm character, end of note. 0 nice name Tomas thanks same as yours 0 thanks and tell me where you come from. Tomas I come from school. 0 I see. Tomas and where do you come from? 0 I come from a store. Tomas, I see, and by the way, 0, I'd like to get to know you better. What do you think if we go out on Saturday? 0 little blushed said sure take it okay see you 02. 0 goodbye Tomas not knowing that a certain Nekomata was watching them and was full of jealousy. And he would go to the club. Laughs well what happened so Kaneko told everything that happened to the girls at that they were all angry. Rias that hitch wants to take my Issei away from me. The Keno I won't let them take it away from me and I don't plan on leaving it. Meanwhile Rosevaser and Kuroka were at Issei's house when they saw Issei's parents and asked them about him and they told them that he would be here soon. When they saw that Issei had arrived they went to hug him and told him that where were you? We were alone and we were looking for you. Tomas excuse me girls for feeling bad feel, well I tell you everything like this, Issei told them what happened and that he had been promoted to high class and already had his chess set the two girls were amazed and in that Tomas asked them if they wanted to be part of his nobility they accepted and so Kuroka in his tower and Rosevaser in her queen and he told them that he gave them an ability. That everything they touch can kill any supernatural. Tomas now welcomed to the Shelby family and gave each one a kiss. Chapter 4 The beginning of our fame. After you take the part of his nobility they went to sleep the next morning Take would wake up with their partners Take good morning girls good morning love today is Saturday, you will have nothing to do in that I would remember that I had a date with 02 Take girls, I will have a date with a girl I met, I hope they don't get upset with me, but it was their mistake since they were very Jealous once they calmed down Take stood up, went to have breakfast, and while drinking liquor as always Kuroko love, why take well, it's been a year since I've been doing this. Rose Vaser and now what will you do love? Now that I, my friends Mitsuda and Motohama and you are the Peaky Blinders gang, we will take over the city of Kuo, we will protect it better than the Gremory clan. They accepted the idea of their beloved. At 1:30, Issei was leaving his house for his date and already in the park he met 02 who had a very nice suit. 0 ready for our date Tomas ready let's have fun, so Tomas went to eat at the mall, to the cinema where they saw a horror movie where 0 got scared and hugged Tomas, after that they went to a clothing store where Tomas bought him a red scarf just like they are in the picture and already at night Tomas was at his house 02. 0 I had a lot of fun. Tomas, I also hope we can do it again. 0 what do you think about next Saturday? Tomas is fine like that Tomas went to his house and that it comes out. Greg, mate, what a beautiful girl you met than that Gremory. Tomas you are right and those horns make her look very pretty. Greg and what are you going to do now, buddy? Tomas I will take the city of Kuo and protect it as it is done, arriving at his house where the girls welcomed him with only a tablecloth and they were without clothes, something that made Tomas blush. You take girls because they are dressed like that. Kuroka, what else to pamper our little dragon? Roswis that's love and that's how you take it and eat it with your girlfriends and go to sleep. The next day the gang would meet up. Mitsuda so you called us. You take well we will take the city of Kuo and we will protect it like that you take would buy weapons. Tomas bought himself a revolver and a machine gun. Mitsuda a sniper and a crossbow. Motohama a rifle and a Thompson and began to kill the fallen angels, demons and criminals, thus gaining fame for their action, but they were also feared since a person who owed money to the gang had killed him and the girls. When seeing the trio of the Shelby fell in love with them being the perverted trio now being the most famous and feared Shelby gang, and one day Mitsuda and Motohama went to a bar where they were drinking alcohol and that one of the people would start to insult Mitsuda and that Mitsuda would beat him up to send him to the hospital and in that a journalist launched a newspaper where the Peaky Blinders gang appears and how one of them hit a young man. In those 2 weeks Tomas had recruited more members and also that Riaz was amazed like the others that they were the most feared gang and that they were the ones who had no problems with the fallen and demons. After Tomas left his house with his girls, they would take a shower and go to sleep. Chapter 5 Confession of Love. After they went to sleep the next day it was Saturday and Issei went out again with 02. Once arriving at the place he was obviously seen by women of different ages. Girl 1 look is the leader of the Peaky Blinders. Girl 2 will have a girlfriend. Girl 3 I want to have a child with him. Girl 4 will be good in bed. But Thomas wouldn't give it any importance. 02 how I look. Tomas you look good beautiful princess. 0 would blush, well let's go on our date so they went to eat ice cream and then to the amusement park and an aquarium in the afternoon. Tomas took him to a very nice place where you could see the entire city. You take something that I want to tell you. 0 and what is it tell me? Tomas I really like you and I wanted to know if you want to be my girlfriend even though I have 2 other girlfriends but I love you very much and I had a lot of fun with you on that. 0 would shed a few tears. Tomas I'm sorry for saying it. 0 you know Tomas I also fell madly in love with you and yes I want to be your girlfriend and I don't care if I have to share you, I will love you until I die and if it is with you I will do it. Then Tomas gave her a daily kiss which she reciprocated. Tomas I love you so much my 02. 0 and me to you my darling. Tomas wouldn't you like to be part of my Shelby gang? 0 if I want so you take it insert your horse piece and told him about the skill. Tomas love would you like to live with you? 0 of course yes so they would go to pick up their things from 0 taking them to his house and Tomas. The girl saw that he arrived with a girl. Roswis who is she? Tomas is the girl I told you about. 0 nice to meet you, I'm 02 Tomas's new girlfriend and that Kuroka and Roswis were very jealous. Girls calm down and she is also a member of our gang so they approached her and gave her these words. Roswis Kuroka if you cheat on our boyfriend we will kill you. She nodded out of fear, okay girls, how about we go to sleep? They nodded and went to sleep. The next morning Tomas would wake up with his girlfriends and they would take a shower and have breakfast and they would go to the academy. Note 02 will enter the academy. End of note. And then the teacher would say a few words. Young professor, we have a new partner. In that case, the girls would say that he is a handsome man and the girls would say that he is a very pretty young woman. In that case, she would enter 02. Hi, nice to meet you, 02, I hope we get along well. In that case you would shout. The boys, teacher, have good questions. Boy 1 how old are you? 02 19 years old. Boy 2, do you have a boyfriend and would you like to go out with me? 02 yes I have a boyfriend and no thanks. Boy 4 and who is? 02 is Tomas Shelby, and that everyone would see Tomas who was calm. 02 If you have a complaint just tell me. I gave them a smile that said say something about my boyfriend I killed them. They didn't say anything out of fear. Very young teacher can sit next to Tomas and she would sit 0. Hello my darling. Tomas hello love. But deep down you would see a very angry and jealous Asia, Zenobia and Irina. Asia I have to tell this to the president. After class Tomas and 0 will go eat in a tree. 0 Let's see as I gave him a piece of meat with honey, Tomas would eat it. Tomas tastes very good now day to day said Tomas giving him the same thing in that time he would arrive. Asia Issei send the president wants you to go to the club. Tomas is fine I will go with my girlfriend. Asia doesn't just want you that. Anger to Tomas. Tomas, I'll go with her whether you like it or not. She nodded in fear and they went to the club. In the club, Riaz, Akeno, Irina and her ex-girlfriend would be seen very jealous. Take it well why do you want me Gremory? Riaz can you know who she is? Tomas is my girlfriend and a problem with that. Akeno, you are one of us and not of this hitch. That made Tomas angry and he took out his revolver and pointed it at her head. Tomas if you insult my girlfriend again I will kill you without mercy. That scared Akeno and made her cry. She has things that we don't have and besides she doesn't have a body like us. 02 At least don't leave him for someone else. No Tomas had told him what they did to Issei end of the note. That made the others sad. Riaz Issei please come back with us we are nothing without you. Tomas I'm sorry but no and besides I'm happy with her and Roswas Kuroka well I'll go. So they left the place and at the time of departure once they arrived at their house they called the Mitsuda and Motohama gang. Mitsuda so you called us. Tomas we will make an alliance the meeting will be in a few days everyone is fine. The shots can be removed and once at night they would eat and go to sleep. Issei betrayed and created the Peaky Blinders chapter 6 I propose marriage. Note here Mitsuda will be John and Motohama Arthur Shelby. After Issei and the girls went to sleep the next morning he would wake up and not see the girls he went down to the kitchen and saw that they were making breakfast. 02 Darlin wake up already. You take yes. Kuroka come love let's have breakfast like this. I had breakfast and called John and Arthur. John, why did you call us? Tomas I have a mission for you. Did that would be. Tomas will kill a guy who owes us a lot of money. John and who is he? Tomas his name is Kevin and he was Ria's ex-boyfriend and the others. Arthur understood that the two would go on their mission and then Drake comes out. Drake hey buddy what are you going to do now? Tomas I will propose to my girlfriends. Drake is a good idea like this. Tomas leaves his other house. Note I forgot to mention that Issei has another house and that is where the gang meets. End of note. So he went to a jewelry store where women would blush when they saw the leader of the most feared gang. Tomas excuse me miss will you have engagement rings? Saleswoman, of course, follow me like this, you look at different rings and find a few great ones. Tomas I want those rings. Saleswoman. Of course, how many do you want? Tomas wants 3 so paying for the rings, but on the way he met Riaz and Akeno these when seeing him would approach Riaz Issei we can talk. Tomas what do you want to talk about Riaz? Riaz please come back with us. Akeno that's right Issei I miss you so much and we will do whatever it takes. Tomas I'm sorry girls but no and I'm going to ask the only women I love to marry me and they didn't abandon me. Riaz and Akeno cried. Take it well, I'm leaving like this arriving at his house where he saw his girls. Girls we can talk they nodded Roswas and what do you want to talk about? Tomas leaned over and said these words to them, would you marry me? Taking out the engagement rings, 0 and Roswas and Kuroka started to cry and said yes. Tomas became happy and cheered them up and they kissed and then his parents arrived. Tomas told them that in half a month they would get married and the parents were very happy for their son. After half a month, Tomas organized a place full of cherry trees. And everything was decorated in white and he had invited Sersias and the parents of Riaz and Azazel, Auden, Tannen, Michael and the Citri and Yasaka entourage. Meanwhile with the Gremory entourage Riaz and the young ladies wanted to kill the one who took their Issei and in that Riaz sends her family to spy on Issei and when they arrived at her second house, Riaz took out a hologram where Issei, Mitsuda and Motohama and the rest of the gang were talking meanwhile, with Issei he called his gang. Take it well everyone is here. Oh yes. Tomas today is my damn wedding. John yes and you said there would be no uniformed personnel. Tomas however John sees the enmity there will be no violence at my wedding for the sake of my wives, nothing will go wrong, now those bastards are our family and if you do something that shames your relatives, your horses your spoiled children if you do something. Alex hears. You take what you want. Alex and cocaine. John if your women know how to have fun well. You take no cocaine. I don't want cocaine or girls or fortune tellers or races, and I don't want them to suck the gas out of their damn cars, and you Charlie stop telling lies about me. Charlie, I just want you to be accepted, ton. Tomas, but the main thing, you bunch of bastards, is that despite the provocation of the cavalry they don't fight. You know, without a fight. Without fighting, bastard. Without fight. Don't fight, you idiots. AAA, well done. A young man passes by and collides with Tomas. Tomas, don't touch me like that, pushing him. Meanwhile, with Riaz and the others seeing everything they heard, spoke. Riaz, I will go to rescue you, Issei, just like you rescued me when I was going to marry Racer. Meanwhile, Zero and the others were at Tomas's house with their mother getting ready. Issei's mother combed Rosevazer's hair and Kuroka put on his sneakers, and then Zero too came out in her wedding dress. Issei's mom, you look very beautiful. Zero thanks to passing 10-0 minutes, and together with the other girls, they would get into a limousine towards the cherry tree forest. Meanwhile, with shots, this one was at the altar waiting for his wives. After 1 minute they would arrive, and when opening the door, Zero comes out, and Roswis and Kuroka, well dressed. Issei was happy, and the wedding begins where everyone stands up, and while the wedding music plays, being in front, the wedding began. Then that a friend of Tomas appears as the father. Father, beloved brothers, we are here united to celebrate the wedding between this man and these 3 women who will marry. Year 02, Roswis and Kuroka accept Tomas Shelby as their husband. They promise to take care of him, love him in health and in sickness until death do them part. Roswis, Kuroka, 02, we accept. Father, you, Tomas Shelby, accept 02, Roswis and Kuroka as your wives. You promise to take care of them and love them in sickness and in health until death do you part. Tomas accepts. Father, if anyone wants this commitment not to be accepted, let them speak now or remain silent forever. At that point a loud voice is heard, we object, and Riaz comes out along with the other girls, and at that point the gang points at them and Riaz speaks. Riaz, I came to save you, Issei, like you saved me from Racer, and that's what Tomas is talking about. Tomas, I don't need you to save me, and besides, I'm going to marry my wives, so go away, bud. Riaz through tears says no. And then Ria's parents told her to calm down, and while everyone watched the wedding crying, the wedding continued. Father, well, there's only one last thing missing. The mixture of both bloods, and then he cuts off Zero and Roswis's arms. Kuroka, you already take. Father, when the 2 families become one family room, so you and your wives hold hands. Father, now I declare you husband and wife. Now take this and kiss your brides. Then they kiss each other and the party continues, where there was music and dancing. And Riaz along with the other girls were crying bitterly seeing that Issei got married and not with them, and Riaz spoke to the other girls. Riaz, we are not going to give up, we are going to get it back no matter what it takes, no matter how much time passes. Alright, President. When the shots were over he was drunk and the girls took him to their house, where the girls had an unforgettable night with him. Chapter 7, We Are Pregnant and the Alliance. After they spent their night of pleasure, the next morning Tomas would wake up next to his wives, but he noticed that he was without clothes, and then his head began to hurt, and then Kuroka woke up. Kuroka, good morning love, last night you were an animal, he said with all flirtation. Tomas, what happened last night? I don't remember anything. Kuroka, yesterday you were drunk, that you seduced us, that we had sex without control. You take that seriously, and that's when Zero and Roswis wake up. Roswisu, wow, you woke up. Tommy. Zero, I will never forget what happened yesterday. Roswis, that's right, and then they would stand up and take a shower together and go to the academy. When they arrived, each one went to different classrooms. Tomas would go to his classroom with Zero. Tomas, seriously Zero, that we did it, asked Tomas. Zero, that's love. Tomas, okay honey. At that point, classes would start normally until recess time. Tomas would meet up with the others and they went to a tree to eat, but then Kiba arrived. Kiba, Issei, the president wants you to go to the club. You take, for what reason? He said serious. Kiba, is for something important. Tomas is fine like this. He and his wives sat down when they arrived while Tomas lit a cigarette. Tomas, tell me why you called me Riaz. Riaz, Issei, I need you to be on the board. You take, for what reason? He said while blowing the smoke. Riaz is for the alliance, since your gang is the most feared and they want to make an alliance with you. Tomas is fine, and when will it be? You laugh, within 5 days. Tomas is fine, I'm leaving like this. After 5 days all the magicians were gathered when Azazel arrived, saying that he would arrive. Tomas along with his gang with their weapons. Tomas. Take Charlie, serve them a drink, the others protect the place, being in each part watching the place. Do you understand what this meeting is about? He said as he took out a cigarette and lit it. Michael hopes for an alliance with you, Issei. Azazel, that's right, since your gang is the most feared of all, we thought about making an alliance. Tomas is fine. Thus signing the peace treaty. Take it well with this, it's done well, I'm leaving gang, let's go like this leaving, and in that one of the two fallen angels became interested in John and asked Azazel who he was, and he told him that he was John Shelby and told him that if he could convince Thomas Shelby to marry John, he said that he would try it. As the week went by, one day the girl spoke to Tomas. Tomas, they called me. Zero, we have a surprise for you. Tomas, and what is it? Between the three of them they said we are pregnant. Tomas, I'm going to be a father, what good news, hugging them like this after 6 months, where Tomas took care of them. And already in the underworld in a hospital, Tomas was waiting for news when he saw the doctor come out. Young Dr. Tomas Shelby. Tomas, if I am, tell me how it came out. Dr. Happiness. The young 02 had a daughter. The young Roswas had a boy. And the young Karoka had 2 twins, a girl and a boy, and that Tomas would enter and carry his babies. Take it now, I will protect them no matter what happens. Zero's daughter had her father's hair, her mother's eyes and her horns. Roswas's son had the color of his father and eyes the color of his mother. And the Karoka twins, the daughter had her mother's hair, eyes the color of her father, and her cat ears and tail, and the son had the same color as his parents, eyes the color of his mother, and her cat ears and tail. When they got home they were happy, and then Issei's parents arrived. When they saw the babies they said grandchildren and went to hug them. Issei's mom already has names. Tomas, yes. Issei's mom, and what are their names? Zero's name is Elizabeth. Roswas mine Jack. Karoka mine called Carla and the boy Adan. At that the parents were very happy that they are now grandparents. Chapters 8. A forced wedding. Sorry to keep you waiting so long, but here is the next chapter. The gang is seen at the Shelby mansion all gathered together, but out of nowhere Azazel would arrive. Azazel. Thomas, I came to talk to you. Tomas. Sure guys, go away. So the gang would leave and Tomas gives him a drink. Tomas. Tell me what I can help you with. Azazel. It's to tell you that there are 2 fallen girls who need a husband, and more than that, they were interested in John. Tomas. Of course, but I hope my friend accepts it. Azazel. Well, that was all, I'm leaving, I have to tell your family that you are going to get married. So he would leave, but Karoka, Rosweiser and 02 would arrive. Karoka. Honey, what's up? Issei. It was Azazel who wanted me to engage a friend, since some girls want to marry him. 02. I see. Tomas. Yes, thank you girls, I love you so much. All. And us too. And the next day our protagonist is seen with the Shelby gang gathered together. Tomas. Already. Oh yes. They would walk like this, but they see that there are guards. John. Tommy, what's the plan? Tomas. John, before that you're going to need this. So everyone puts a flower on their suit each, and Tomas puts one on John. John. What the hell are you doing, Tom? Tomas. Smile, John, it's a wedding. John. Whose wedding? Tomas. If I had told you, you wouldn't have come. There are 2 girls from the fallen faction who are desperate and need to marry you. But John would try to escape, but everyone catches him. John. Let me go, you don't have the right, Tommy. Tomas. Those girls need a husband and you need a wife. John. Tommy, I will never marry a fallen boar. Tomas. You are already engaged, and if you regret it now there will be a fight that will be a princess party and choose war or peace. John. Let me go. They would be walking like this, but they see an adult woman coming out. Arthur. Hey, you should see the size of her dowry. John. You're what? Tomas. Your parents will give you a car. And they would already be in front. Tomas. I accepted, my lady. Mine. I accepted. This is how the 2 girls dressed as brides come out. Something that left John standing when he saw 2 girls so beautiful that he fell in love at first sight, and they too. Tomas. And now you're ready, friend. So the father marries the 2, and they have a party where John celebrates with his wives who were drinking and shooting, while they watched all this with fun. The next day, he is seen with the whole Shelby gang. John. Tommy, my wives will live here. Tomas. It's okay, friend. But out of nowhere the Gremory entourage would arrive and everyone would point at them. Riaz. Issei, I came to talk to you. Tomas. If it's about coming back, no. Riaz. It's not that, it's another matter. Tomas. Speak well, girls. And he takes out a cigarette and a glass of liquor. Tomas. Speak well. Riaz. It's to see if we could get into your gang. Tomas. Don't laugh. Bekeno. And when will you let us go back with you, Issei? Tomas. Go away if that's what it's for. So they would be defeated, but they would already have a plan for that. And after what happened, Tomas is seen in his house and with his children in his arms. Elizabeth. Dad, did you like someone before, Mom? Tomas. Why do you say that? Adam. It's just that we're curious. Jack. Wait a minute, you like someone before mom? Tomas. Maybe they want me to tell them. Elizabeth. Yes please, I'm dying of curiosity, Dad. Tomas. Okay, when I was human there was a girl. She was very pretty, everything was going well, she was fun and a bit of a joker, everything was fine until someone arrived. She had a fight with a very strong demon, but she killed her. Even though she is in a better place, I will always carry her in my heart. Dad is very sad. Tomas, even though that happened, I don't regret anything and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have met her mothers. 02. Thanks honey, okay kids it's time to sleep. Jack. Rest well, my dear dads. Tomas. Me too. And then they would all go to sleep, but in the distance you see a girl who was floating. Soon I loved to say we will be together again. Well the young woman looked at the bracelet she had on her hand and remembered the time she fell in love with him. Story 3 What if Issei was betrayed and became a singer? Prologue The betrayal. Our story begins when Issei defeated Loki, everything was happiness for him, since the Op-I Dragon program was going very well, he was being happy for him since he was going to marry the girls within a month, but one day the girls began to move away from him, they did not sleep and always said they had things to do, and this made Issei feel bad. But one day he saw an ad for catching unfaithful people and he decided to call, but before that, Drake spoke. Drake mate are you sure about this? Issei of course I have to see if they are being faithful or not like that marking. Hello, speak to the team that catches unfaithful people, and I can help you. Issei I would like to know if my girlfriends are being unfaithful to me. Of course, just tell us where to meet to talk about your case. Issei what do you think in the park? I think it's fine. I'll watch it at 3 in the afternoon, but everything that happens will be recorded, no problem. Issei clear okay no nos vimos. So hanging and so the time came and I would arrive at the place. Issei well I'm here sir. Sorry my name is Mark Devison, what do you say if we record it right away? Issei mi paris perfecto. Mark in 3 2 and 1 ready. Mark well, Issei, what is the reason why you contacted the team of catching unfaithful people? Can you tell me a little about your case? Issei, of course, I have 10 girlfriends and we have been in a relationship for almost 5 years, but out of nowhere they distanced themselves from me, they don't talk to me and they don't sleep with me, and in a month we are going to get married, and I want to know if they are doing something to me behind my back, and I want to know if they are faithful to me or not. Mark, well, we'll leave it to us. As soon as we have enough evidence, we'll call you. Okay, friend. In the meantime, give us the photos of them so we can identify them and expel them, but try not to say anything. We don't want them to find out. Issei well we go so they will go. So 10 days passed where they investigated and took photos of each one of them, and on the 10th day they called Issei, and so Issei was inside the car. Mark well Issei I called you since we have the evidence, but are you sure about this do you think you can handle it? Issei of course I want to see. Mark, well here we see your partner Riaz and Akeno who were leaving the university, but they go out with 2 young men, they hugged them and kissed them, something that they accepted, then my partner followed them to a restaurant where they were talking and eating. And Issei started crying to get all his anger out. Mark, well, here is this area, and Tsubaki and 2 other boys are having fun at an amusement park, but Roswis and Kuroka and Kaneko also arrive with their boyfriends. Issei no mo it can't be damn how do they do this to me I gave them my life, and this is how they pay me back. Mark, here you see Asia, Zenobia and Irina with their boyfriends leaving a hotel. And right now they told me that they are all at your house with their boyfriends. Do you want us to go confront them? Issei yes I want let's go then. Mark come on guys. So spending 2 minutes where he would arrive at his house and when he entered he saw everyone with their partners, these upon seeing Issei react. Riaz I Issei what are you doing you should end TP training. Issei, that's what you should say, why did you do this to me? Akeno and who are these people and why are they recording? Issei, they are the team that catches unfaithful people. I hired them to see if they were unfaithful to me. Asia why are you doing this to us? Issei to see if they were faithful to me and to know that we could get married, but it's not worth it and I ask for a divorce, let's go. Riaz we have to talk without cameras please Issei forgive us. Mark you want me to go and let him talk you want me to go. Issei, let's not leave, let's go. So they would leave the girls devastated where their boyfriends would try to console them, but they would leave them instantly and leave their house after that Issei was already far from the place and began to spit blood. Issei Drag what's wrong with me? Drag suffers the fall of the dragon. Issei what is that? Drag is when the male is deceived by his partners and our power becomes a poison that kills us little by little, but in your case you have 2 days to live. Issei there is a cure for that. Drag yes there is a ritual that removes the curse, but it has a price. Issei and that would be. Drag you will lose all feelings for girls. Issei we did it. thus doing the ritual where Issei suffered for 2 hours and then he would wake up and approached a lake and saw that his appearance changed a lot and his voice too. Issei, well, it would be better if I went home, so he would leave, but he saw that the girls were not there and he began to pack his things, but he saw a message from Mac where he told him that he would upload the video to social networks and he would go to the airport and take a flight to the United States. Issei, goodbye everyone, soon you will see what you did to me. Chapter 1. The beginning of fame and unexpected wedding. It's been 2 years since Issei had left Kuo City. At that time Issei kept going back to get stronger, which worked, and he also learned to play the guitar and sing, and he decided to create a band called Coldplay. They also did concerts all over the country, but Issei had to do one in Kuo City, and he decided to go back. And meanwhile in the city of Kuo you see all the girls sad and more that they didn't leave the house because they asked me because. Flashback from 2 years ago. After Issei left the country, the video that was uploaded to social media and everyone was insulting the girls, even in the academy, was worse since they had been humiliated, but the video also reached the ears of the leaders that they had called them, and Sersius took away her position as the successor, and that they would be low-class demons, as if it made the girls worse, and they, in a sea of tears, searched relentlessly for Issei and without any result, since she regretted having done that, but more Rias and Akeno, since they had the idea of gaining experience in order to fall in love with Issei. End of flashback. Already at night, Issei is seen walking in the city, but he sees that a girl was going to be run over, and he jumps to save her, and they both collide, and then Issei wakes up and sees that she was also hurt but not much, and he takes her to a place, and when she wakes up, Issei would blush to see a 17-year-old girl with red eyes and pink hair. Issei, are you okay, and tell me your name. My name is Tsukasa, and you? Issei, my name is Issei, I am a singer. Tsukasa, I see, and you're fine, I'm leaving. Issei, wait, before you go, I would like to know if we could have a date, he said this while blushing. And then Tsukasa blushes too and turns around. Tsukasa, okay, we can go on a date if you marry me. Issei, yes of course, but out of nowhere Issei faints. He would then wake up in a hospital for about 2 days, where he was discharged and was in his apartment since his concert would be in 2 weeks. Issei, I hope to see her again. But then there's a knock on the door. Issei does offer it to him. But he saw Tsukasa again. Tsukasa, hello, I'm glad you're okay, may I come in? Issei, hey, yeah, sure, go ahead. This is how he would serve him a cup of tea, but he saw that Tsukasa takes out the minutes. Issei, what is that? Tsukasa, is a marriage certificate. Issei, what, a marriage certificate? Tsukasa, but why are you so excited? Issei, well, that's it. Tsukasa, we didn't have an agreement, I told you we had a date if we got married. Issei, yes, well, this is very sudden. Tsukasa, fine if you don't want. Issei, no, yes, I will do it. Thus the minutes are filled out. Issei's mind, I don't know if it's okay, I'm almost filling it out without thinking twice, but it doesn't matter if something happens, I'll fix it because Issei Hyodo, singer and soon to be famous. Thus giving the minutes to Tsukasa. Tsukasa Hyodo is a nice name, I think that's what my name will be called, Tsukasa Haim. So blushing Issei. Tsukasa, well, let's go to the civil registry to get married. Issei, bien. So they would go to the civil registry, and there they gave the marriage certificates, and thus declaring the husband and wife, so they would go to their apartment. Issei tells his wife that he is a singer, and that he will do a concert in a week, she accepts that she will go to his concert, so spending the week where his team of Issei. He launching the publication of his concert and the girls would go to the concert, and on the day of the concert Issei and Tsukasa were in the cabin prepared for the concert, so he would go up on stage where the world screamed with happiness. Issei, thank you all for coming to this concert, I hope you are well. But from afar Kaneko would smell its essence. Kaneko, Ria's encounter Issei. Ria's, seriously, where's my Issei? Kaneko is on stage. Zenobia, so that's our Issei, but he changed a lot and looks handsome. So this is the famous band called Coldplay. Irina, I think so, but who is that slob who is with my fiancé? So everyone saw that he was with a pink-haired girl who filled them with jealousy. Issei, well, my beautiful people, I present to you my fiancé. So they all screamed. Issei, well, we will start with our songs, well, my next song is called Trouble. So singing the following song. Meaning of the song. Problema. Oh no, I'm watching. The spider's web is tangled with me. And I lost my mind. The thought of all the nonsense I'd said. Oh no, what is this? The spider web, and I'm caught in the middle. Then I started running. And the thought of all the stupid things I'd done. And I never meant to cause you trouble. I never meant to hurt you. And, well, if I ever did cause you trouble. Oh, no, I never meant to hurt you. Singing that I never meant to cause you trouble. I never meant to hurt you. And, well, if I ever did cause you trouble. Oh, no, I never meant to hurt you. They weave a web for me. They weave a web for me. They weave a web for me. After finishing everyone was screaming with excitement and the girls were amazed that Issei sang well. Riaz didn't know that Issei sang well. Zenobia me neither. Irina we have to get it back. Todas high. Chapter 2, In Search of Your Forgiveness. After singing the girls were amazed. Riaz didn't know that Issei sang well. Bekeno yes but anyway I have to ask for forgiveness. All of them are there. So after so many songs, finishing the concert, Issei and Tsukasa coming down, meeting the girls, who would be filled with jealousy when they saw Tsukasa. Issei what are you doing here? Riaz my Issei I'm glad you're okay and wherever you were we're very worried about you. Bekeno that is my Issei. Issei, really, after everything they did to me, they come to talk to me as if nothing happened. I gave them everything like that and they pay me like boors. Riaz please forgive us we are very sorry we did not know what we were doing. Issei I forgive them. And then everyone was already happy. Asia that means we can go back. Issei no. Irina why not if you forgave us? Issei, I forgave them, but that doesn't mean we'll get back together. Besides I'm already married to my wife here. Riaz and what does she have that we don't have? She doesn't have big breasts or a nice butt and a good body like ours. Tsukasa may not have it, but at least I didn't leave him for someone else who ended up leaving them, and as my husband said, we are already married, there is no turning back. That made the girls angry. Issei okay I'm leaving let's go love. Thus leaving the girl sad and full of jealousy for the pink hair. So arriving at his apartment. Tsukasa you were fine love. Issei, if only I were sad for everything they did to me. Tsukasa, don't worry, honey, I am with you, that's what husbands are for, not to support each other, no. Issei thanks and how about going to see my parents? Tsukasa really wanted to meet my in-laws. Issei that is right let's go. So arriving at Issei's house and knocking on the door. Mickey does offer it. Issei I'm surprised you don't recognize me mom. Mickey is your son. Issei that is right mom. Leon what's up? Issei hello dad. Leon is your son where were you we are very worried about you and who is she? Issei to a certain dad and mom she is Tsukasa Hyodo my new wife. Tsukasa it's a pleasure to meet you in-laws. Mickey Leon the pleasure is ours. Tsukasa thank you very much in-laws. Mickey's son what happened to the girls? Issei well let's go inside and I'll tell you. So going inside and from there Issei tells him everything that happened and that the supernatural exists and that he is a dragon and that the girls are demons and even reaching his betrayal of the girls and he also shows them the video where the girls and Issei were recorded where they spied on the girls and it must be said that the parents were very angry and sad about everything that happened. To their son, more than that Issei tells him that he is now a singer and that his band is called Coldplay. Mickey is very sorry that you went through that son. Issei, don't worry, mom, nothing is wrong and they will all leave here. Leon that's right son I don't want to see them even in a painting anyway. Tsukasa from now on you will live here with us thanks for making my son happy. Tsukasa, you're welcome, in-laws, I love your son and I'm not going to leave him for another, not like his ex-partners. Mickey, you're welcome, daughter, anyway, we have to eat. So eating calmly and meanwhile with the girls they were in the club thinking about how to make Issei fly with them. Riaz, some of you have a plan to make my Issei fall in love with you. Bekeno and if we seduce him so that he falls in love and we give him a lot of pleasure. Zenobia but we are not virgins anymore. Asia no matter what Issei flies with us. Irina, you're right, we have to try it. All of them are there. Meanwhile with the leaders they were watching about Issei, but out of nowhere, Milikas notices that in one of the videos, he sees a song by the band Coldplay and sees that Issei sings. Milika's grandparents, Issei dad's returned and is now a singer. Benalana and Sirio. Milikas, that is right, look at this video where I sing at the academy. Sergius didn't know that Issei could sing well and I'm glad he found someone who healed his heart. I wanted him to still be my brother-in-law but because of Riaz. Sudikas, in the end we have to go see him and apologize for what our daughter did. So going to the human world going to Issei's house, Sudikas and Benalana would receive them, they apologize for what Riaz did, the others he says that nothing happens, then Sergius asks him if he could do a concert in the underworld, since the children miss the op-eye dragon she accepts, so spending 3 days later Issei is seen in the underworld with his wife, everything was ready the children shouted. To their favorite hero now singer now. Presenter well children and young people here is the famous band called Coldplay and their favorite hero Dinganlo children. Children the op-eye dragon. Issei hello everyone well before we start thanks for the support well we will start and this song is called Fix You and if you like children and others you can sing it with us. So singing the following song. Translation of the song. To fix you. When you try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel very tired but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. And the tears start running down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone, but everything falls apart. Could it be worse? Tears are running down your face. I promise I'll learn from my mistakes. Tears are running down your face. And the lights will guide you home. And set your bones on fire. And I'll try to fix you. Chapter 3. New couple. Our protagonist is seen with his wife Tsukasa in their house where they are living quietly in their mansion because they changed places. Tsukasa, love, do you think she doesn't bother you? Issei, I don't know, honey, but what I do know is that they won't leave you alone. On the other hand, the DXD group is seen in their occult club talking about the subject of Issei and how to get him back so that he forgives them again. We as well have a plan to get my Issei back. Asia, maybe we try to seduce him, that could easily fall, and we can go back to being a cute couple like before. You may be right, but having him alone and with our seduction he will fall easily. I'm sure of that, girls, since his wife doesn't have a good body for him to please. The Kenoara is a very good idea, is. And on the other hand, in a place of study you see many people with a girl, her name was Ai. Ai was a very famous singer, she was very well known throughout Japan and in several countries, but she realized that her position as the best singer in life had been taken from her. This made her worry, thinking that someone had taken her position. Oh, tell me, who is the new star of the year? Hardworking, this band is becoming very well known worldwide. Their songs are a success. The band is called Coldplay. They started their music more than 2 years ago, and in just 2 years they achieved more than 2.0 million views. And that is an achievement for something that you have not been able to do. Oh, I see, and can you show me the singer's photo? So they show her the photo of Issei, and she would blush at seeing a very handsome boy. Oh, I see, so that's why I want the details of the place and where he lives. Hardworking, yes ma'am. I want to meet you, Issei Hyodo. After that she would quietly go home, but she would see something strange in a folder, and in her room partly on one half she had all her albums, songs and achievements that she has done in her life, but on one side it was empty, and she would start to put the Coldplay band posters and the image of the boy who fell in love at first sight. Issei Hyodo serás mi esposo. Returning to Issei, he was alone quietly listening to his music, but out of nowhere he would knock on the door and says when he saw the mirror, he would see that it was his ex-partners, that they had a robe hidden inside their clothes. Issei, what are you doing here and what do you want from me? Rias, Issei, we can talk for a while, I want to talk about something. Issei, what do you want to talk about? It wasn't enough for you to hurt me and leave me for some who left you in the end. Ikeno, Issei, please, we just want to show you something and we will leave. Issei, bien. But when they enter, they all come out in their underwear. Rias, you like love? He said it while they were dancing sensually. Issei, Coverance, please, I don't want to run away from my house. Ikeno, don't you want to have fun with us, love? Come and leave your partner, let's go back to what we were before. Issei, no, I am married. Asia, what do you see in her that we don't have? Issei, she is not cheating on me, not like you, just because she wants to gain experience. Tell me, if I had done it, would you do the same thing I did to you? That would leave the shock to all properly that they thought the same thing, that Issei had done that to them, they would have left him. Rias, Issei, please, let's go back. Issei didn't leave here. This is how they would get them out. Don't laugh and don't think we won't give up. On the other hand, she goes to Ai preparing all her suitcases to go to the city of Kuo, where that secret love where Ko would convince him and would be in the best band, since commonly she wanted to sing with him and be the most famous band in the world, to be the best couple of most famous husband and wife. Then she sees herself there at the airport taking the flight there, taking approximately 2.5 hours. After that she would take a car to quickly get to Issei's house and knock on the door. Ai, hello, you are Issei, the singer of the band called Coldplay. Issei, if that's how it is, and who are you? My name is Issei Hyodo, please be my boyfriend. But without waiting any longer she would give him a kiss that he reciprocated. Tsukasa, love, what's happening? Oh, you have a wife. Issei, however, passed. Then, once inside, she tells him that she is one of his secret crushes and that she was also a very famous singer and that she wanted to sing with him. Issei, I accept your feelings, well, since I don't see lies in you, only if my wife accepts. Tsukasa, love, of course I accept, only if she doesn't cheat on you. Oh, I won't do it, I promise. Issei, well, next week I will have a concert. After a week he would hold a concert at the academy inviting the leaders. Serges, we will see a live concert again. Rafia, that's right. Milikas, I'll see Issei Olivier. After 3 minutes Issei and I would come out. Young 1, that is I, the number 2 singer, along with number 1 Coldplay. Young 2 is amazing, 2 big stars here at the academy. Girl 1, no, she next to the boy of my dreams, knew how envious. Girl 2, yes, friend. Issei, thank you for being here, and well, I will give the news that I and I are a couple. And then everyone screamed with excitement and the women were envious. On the other side, the DXD were more than angry that Issei had another woman. Oh, thank you and well, we sing this song for you, my family. So singing the following song. Me, drink from me, drink from me. Me, drink from me, drink from me. Shoot across the symphony. That we shoot across the sky. Drink from me, drink from me. That we shoot across the I'm feeling drunk and high. Sinfonia. Symphony. That we shoot across the that we shoot, yeah. That we shoot across the sky. That we shoot across the. That we shoot across the sky. That we shoot across the. Story 4 What if Issei was betrayed and becomes reincarnation of Itachi? Clarifications. Issei will be Itachi Uchiha. They all leave him because of a betrayal, since they all go with Racer and mistreat him. The only one who doesn't leave him is Zenovia. After they realize it, they look for him, but not before Issei kills Racer. His next Issei partner is Wrist. Chapter 1. A painful betrayal. It all starts when you say they defeated Loki. Everything was happiness and tranquility, or so we thought, since out of nowhere all the girls began to move away from him. He did not sleep, he did not talk, they always said they were in important matters, something that worries him and made him sad, but one day when he arrived home he entered, but moans are heard inside the house. Out of curiosity he goes up the stairs, but they were heard louder as he passes, and when he saw the door half open and saw something that broke his heart, it was his partners having relations with Riser Phoenix. This one from Pain opens the door and seeing everyone, and they see Issei with disgust. Issei, what does this mean? Riser, oh, I see, the pervert found out about our secret. Issei, damn, I won't forgive you. He would try to attack him, but the girls grab him. Issei, but what are they doing? Riaz, you are no longer useful, we only use you for our own benefit, and besides, we had feelings for Riser, right? Love. Riser, so my Riaz, now you will give me the Red Emperor. Issei, I won't give them to you. Bragand, who are you to give orders? Issei, but what? But Issei is brutally attacked by everyone, but sees that Zenovia was not there. He had the thought that she was not involved in this, and then Riaz takes the 8 pawn pieces from him, and Issei is in a very critical state and is thrown into the forest. But out of nowhere he wakes up. Issei, where am I? Palama, we are in your mind. Issei wants his. Excuse me, my name is Itachi Uchiha. Issei, nice to meet you Itachi, but what are you doing here? Itachi, you are my reincarnation. Issei, but why me? Itachi, I saw that everyone who loved you has betrayed you, but I saw one person who will not leave you, because she knows nothing about love, and she is a blue-haired girl. Issei will refer to Zenovia. Itachi, so you say you want to be my reincarnation, you will have my abilities like the Sharingan, Manjukam Sharingan, Tsukiyamai, Amaterasu and the Susanoo. Issei accepted. Itachi, well, let me train you. Issei, but how? Itachi, in your mind space will be faster and in normal life it is minutes. Issei, good. So in his mind, after 30,000 years, Issei already had Itachi's personality. Itachi, well, it's time to be yourself. Issei, thank you master. Thus joining Issei's body, he would then wake up and seeing his reflection and saw that he had Itachi's appearance and his Akashic clothing, and he decides to go home and sees that there is no one there, but he sees something that traumatized him for life from his dead parents, but he sees that he had burns on his body, implying that Riser was the one who killed them. This one awakens the Sharingan from anger, saying that he will take revenge. They would become the Phoenix Razor, and then Itachi held a funeral for his parents so they can rest in peace, and that he would take revenge. The next day Itachi would go to the academy and sees Zenovia and this one who speaks. Itachi, Zenovia is you. Zenovia, that's who she is, I know her. Itachi, come follow me and I will tell you everything. Already in a hidden place. Zenovia, I really want you to be, and why do you know my name? Itachi, is me Issei. Zenovia, Issei, it's you, what happened to you, why do you look different? Issei, let me tell you everything. So he tells her everything that happened yesterday and about his reincarnation. Zenovia, damn, how did they do this to you Issei? Itachi, well, I would like you not to talk about this, just call me by my name now. Zenovia, okay Issei, but first I want to tell you something. Itachi, and what is it? Zenovia, I like you and I want you to be my partner. I know it hurts you because you have suffered too much, but I want to heal your wounds. Itachi accepted. Zenovia, you are the only one who did not leave me. I hope we are both happy, but I will help you get out of the Gremory clan. Zenovia, how will you do it? Itachi just watches. So Itachi does some hand postures, and a light comes out that brings out Zenovia's piece without any pain. Zenovia, how did you do it? Itachi, is a technique that my master taught me. Zenovia, I see. See you soon Issei. Itachi, of course, goodbye. So they would go to their places, and meanwhile with the others they were finishing having relations with Riser, and then they would leave the club, but they see Zenovia. Riaz, hello Zenovia. Zenovia, hello, what are you doing? Akeno, we just went out to do something with our Razor love. Zenobia and Issei, what happened? She said it pretending since she knew everything she just went along with it. Asia was just a hobby. Besides, the Razor loves us, you should do it. Zenobia will take you to heaven. Zenobia, not at all, I am with Issei, I prefer him over someone who's not worth it. Bria's try it, it's not worth it. Issei is just an idiot. Zenobia, no, and they will regret what they do. All of them, yes, of course. So he would leave, and with Issei he was at his parents' grave crying for them, but he would leave the place leaving them roses, and he would leave. Now he sends a shadow clone and angrily sees the one who took his parents away, with whom he once loved. This one, he restrained himself from killing him, and now he sees that the girls were trying to converse with Zenobia, who denied it and left the place. That's it, he decides to go to Issei's house. Zenobia, Issei, you are here. Itachi is like Zenobia. Zenobia, and what will you do now? Itachi, my goal will be to kill Razor. Zenobia, I help you. Itachi is not dangerous, I can handle him. Zenobia, well, and also to tell you that I will live with you. Itachi, of course. Zenobia, good, because I already have my things here. Itachi, well, now we have to rest. Zenobia, if Issei rests. So giving him a kiss. Chapter 2. A fight to the death and revelation. After everything that happened, Itachi still would N''T go to the academy, since first he wants Razor dead, and then Itachi would send one of his clones, but he sees that all of Issei's exes were having an orgy with Razor, and he was disgusted to see that scene, but then he sees Zenobia enter, and he approaches in case something happens. Zenobia, what are you doing here? We come to Asia to be pleased by our beloved. Zenobia, seriously, I'm ashamed of myself for doing that to you, Issei. Bakeno was just an idiot, better come and give your first time to Razor. Razor, that's my Zenobia, leave that idiot and see a real man instead. Zenobia, no thanks, I prefer to die or be with an idiot. As if it won't be for the good ones, it will be for the bad ones. Girls, grab her. Zenobia, what's wrong with you? Let me go. Razor, now you will be mine. Dragon, help me, no. Clear Dryag. But out of nowhere Zenobia disappears, and they see that she is up there with a black-haired guy in a black suit with red clouds. Briaz, who are you? Itachi doesn't know yet. Bakeno, tell us and we will let you live. Itachi, I'm not interested in his words, and why would they abuse my partner? Razor, because she's mine, not like an idiot like you. But out of nowhere the clone disappears, but the real Itachi appears. Razor, you finally appear. Itachi, I will not forgive you for what you took from me. Razor, take it away, you fool. Itachi, you killed my parents, you burned them. Razor, can't be you, you're dead. Itachi, wow, you knew, that's right, I'm Issei Hyodo. Damn Razor, you're just weak. Issei, now my name is Itachi Uchiha, I am the most powerful, and I am going to kill you, I will not forgive you for what you did. Razor, don't make me laugh. Itachi Sharingan. And that everyone sees that his eyes were red and had some black dots. Razor, don't make me laugh. And in that he makes a sword of fire and pierces Issei through it. Razor was easy. But he sees several crows coming out and appearing behind him, he throws a fireball at him. First Razor dies, dragon shock. But Itachi easily mistakes him. Itachi just as arrogant. Razor, shut up, I just used your girls as revenge, I just used them to get back at you, hahaha, and I had a lot of fun with your mom too. And then the girls would start crying because they realized the mistake they had made. Itachi cursed Susanoo. At that point everyone sees a giant come out with a sword and a flaming shield. Itachi, you're going to pay for this. And in that Susanoo grabs Razor and begins to cut each part of his body, but he would regenerate, but he throws it at him. Itachi, let's try to survive this. And then his eye changes and he says these words. Itachi Amaterasu. And then black flames come out of Razor's body and burn Razor, who screams in pain. Itachi, this is the punishment for killing my parents. But he sees that he was still alive and he uses his best ability. Itachi, you are going to die, your last words. Razor, have mercy on me. Itachi, no, you killed my parents and tried to abuse my girlfriend, now suffer with this Tsukiyama Infinite. And in that Razor is on a cross and Itachi comes out. Itachi, ask me how much you will endure for 1,000 years, since here I control time and space and reality. He said this while burying many swords in him while Razor kept screaming, but in reality you see Razor already dead and Drag comes out of his body. Itachi, you only spent 1,000 years in that world and here you spent 2 seconds, now come on parents. But he would go with Zenobia. Itachi, are you okay, love? Zenobia, yes, thanks for saving me. Itachi, you're welcome. But go to the Gremory group. Briaz, Issei, please forgive us, Issei. Itachi, I will not forgive them for everything they did to me and I am already together with Zenobia. Briaz, but Zenobia is part of my clan. Zenobia, now I resign and I give you your pieces, now I live with Issei. Briaz, no, it can't be true. Itachi, that's right, and get all of you out of my house. I'm going to kick you out of my house. You're lucky I don't kill her. Now I'll be at peace. I'm leaving, Zenobia. That's how I got to the place, leaving the girls devastated. The next day, everyone is seen outside Issei's house with their things since Itachi kicked her out, including Asia, who didn't want to but was taken out by force, and everyone would go to live at Ria's house since they wanted to see about Issei's situation and how to get him back. Already in the Uchiha mansion, Zenobia and Itachi are seen resting peacefully. Itachi, I will go back to the academy. Zenobia, are you sure, love, they are there? Itachi, it's okay, I'll be fine. Zenobia, well, we have to rest. Itachi is fine. This is how they would go to sleep, where Zenobia obviously sleeps without clothes. Story 5. What if Issei becomes the lord of the cities? Clarifications. 1. Issei will be betrayed by all factions, as he will no longer be useful to them after the Trixa War. 2. The only one who will not betray him is Drake, who will fake his death. 3. The betrayal is not going to be narrated here, but here so you can imagine. Issei, after awakening the factions, will banish him. Even his father and Issei's former harem will change him for a boy named Zamasu, but in reality he is Rizavan, where he sleeps with the ex-harem. Not only that, but with Gabriel, Griselda, Penemu, Yusaka, Tiamat, Kuroka, Li Fei, Sona, along with all of his entourage, Valerie Femvali, Office, Great Red Fem, Great Red, Venelana, Grafia, Lady Phoenix, Lady Citri, Sarerg's mother, but except for 4 girls who did not agree with this, who escaped with their chestnut. 4. The year that will be is 2042, where human technology has advanced greatly. 5. Issei will be known throughout the world as the honest but ruthless supernatural lord of the heavens. 6. Issei will be married to other women from a mafia that is #1 most wanted in the United States, and Issei is wanted by the United States, Mexico, Canada, and France. The first will be Makima, leader of the cartel of Japan. 7. Issei, knowing that the factions will want him to return, he will be prepared, already having business with mafias against the factions, and he will not help them so that he can earn more money. 8. Issei will take the militia in Kunu, where the little ones will be a couple. 9. Most likely there will be war against the factions. 10. Issei will have people who possess mid and high rank sacred gears. Issei's harem. Makima boxes. Poster from Japan. She helped Issei leave with his 4 girlfriends in exchange for being the leader of the harem. She took an interest in him and saw all his achievements, and his sign is called the kilt. She is the owner of all of Japan and Kyoto. Zenobia 4th boxes. Mexico poster. She was the first who did not agree with the unearthing of Issei, who left with her true friends. She is the leader of training the sword-type sacred gear soldiers with her friend, and that she did not let a man touch her or threaten her. Irina Casilla's Shidu. Mexico poster. She also did not agree with the unearthing that she, with the help of Issei, were able to take away Michael's card, and she stopped being an angel. She is Zenovia's training partner with the users of sword-type sacred gears. She left her kind side to an attitude of a commander, but she only acts like that with her family. Sikvaria boxes. Mexico poster. She was also another and left her position as heir to Aguirre's because her parents compromised her with Zamasu, and she just refused and decided to leave. She is the leader who creates cocaine, but not as of the year 2022. She made many touches so that this cocaine is not lethal to humans, like the supernatural, along with her assistant and sister-in-law. She beat boxes. Mexico poster. She is the last of the 4. She was also engaged, but she refused and she left with her friend and boyfriend. She is in charge of selling the weapons and bringing them back with her bodyguard and sister-in-law. Jean Casilla. England base. She was rescued by Issei in the underworld prison, where she learned what they did to the factions, where she agrees to join the cartel where they both had fallen in love, and now she is one of his wives. She is the leader and is in charge of training soldiers in England and Paris, along with very special things for the factions. The Charlotte quintuplets. Hyamig Charlotte Casillas. Aramig Charlotte Casillas. Almig Charlotte Casillas. Akamig Charlotte Casillas. Nutmeg Charlotte Casillas. Charlotte Mafia family poster. They are the 5 sisters of the most wanted family in the United States, Japan, France, Mexico, Canada, Germany, India, China, Brazil, and Peru. Their mother and father made a peace treaty with the cartel of the Lord of the Skies, and their mother compromised them. They refused, as did Issei, but they had to accept it. At first they did not get along, but little by little, they got along to the point where they fell totally in love with the brown-haired boy for doing something and agreed to marry him. Inglav Leviathan Casillas. Mexico poster. She was helped by Issei when she was almost kidnapped by Rizavan's new organization, where she got to know him better, where Issei proposed to her, where she accepted making her another of his wives. She takes care of the business and companies of the Charlotte, the Kilt and the Casillas with Makima. Nyx Greek goddess. Cobra poster. She is an infiltrator of the new Rizavan organization where she has respect for the brown-haired man. When they faced each other before his banishment and Issei, he won, and Nyx rewarded him with a Russian, and Issei also gave it to her for pleasure. And they had to restrain themselves from doing it, and she escaped, but Issei found out that she is a number 5 leader where they secretly married, so that the Cobra cartel would not discover her. Bragg's harem. Uzi Gotch. Mexico poster. She was saved from an experiment by the Cobra cartel, where she joined with her friends and met Drake, who agreed to train her with her friends, where she spent time where Drake proposed to her and they accepted. She is Leisha's bodyguard. B. Gotch. Mexico poster. She is also Drake's second wife. She is the torture executive of every hostage he had, but in bed she is a savage. She only does it with her husband. J. Gotch. England base. She is Drake's third wife. She is second in command and helps Jean with the soldiers and things for the factions. Ionos Gotch. Mexico poster. She is a former member of the Cobra cartel. She helped Uzi, J and V, even though she had no reason to live until Drake gave her one. She is Drake's fourth wife and Sakvaria's assistant. Prologue. The misfortune of the factions and who is the Lord of the Skies. Location. Meeting room. Each faction leader could be seen, except for one person. Xerxes. Demon leader. Azazel. Leader of the fallen angels. Michael. Leader of the angels. Odin. Leader of Asgard. Zeus. Leader of Olympus. Shiva. Leader of the Indus. Ra. Leader of Egypt. Tannin. Representative of the dragons. Alucard. Representative of the vampires. But they all had a face of sadness and regret, but someone spoke. Xerxes. So. Have you found out anything about Issei-kun? Satan said very sadly. Michael. It doesn't seem as if the earth had swallowed him without a trace or anything. Odin. And all for taking us for power. Ra. We must continue searching and ask for his return. Alucard. It will be difficult, besides I don't think he will forgive us for what we did to him. Tannin. A dragon does not forget a betrayal. Zeus. Damn it. He said to hit the table and everyone would see it. It's been 15 years and nothing. If only we hadn't believed the damn Zamasu, everything would remain the same. The Lord of Lightning said very angrily, and everyone put on an angry face, but the one who stood out the most was Xerxes. Shiva. And now we are paying the price, because of that miserable man. When I see him I will annihilate him. The Hindu god said, releasing some of his aura. Azazel, who was silent, decided to speak. Azazel. Leaving everything aside, this year will turn upside down. He said seriously, to throw a newspaper on the table for everyone to see. Alucard. And that. Azazel. It's the news from the human world where it says that he is already on his last legs. He said seriously, but he heard a complaint from the Retid. Xerxes. Azazel, why do you worry so much? These are human things, that doesn't concern us. Satan said, but he had to dodge a spear of light from the fallen one, surprising Ra, Shiva, Odin, and Tannin. Azazel. Xerxes, this is serious. You know that if he dies, all the drug dealers, mafias, the gringos, they will go for the throne of who will be the king of the drug dealers, and to top it off, we have problems with the Cobra cartel that increasingly steals weapons and experiments from the Treybergs of the human world. He said angrily, looking at the Retid. Alucard. It's true, and not only here, but the human world has up to 10 mafias, already 10 cartels. The vampire said seriously. Michael. Besides, there are 3 that are big because of that, how to say it. Azazel. Cocaine, he said, looking at his brother who nodded. Besides, that cocaine called healthy flower is not like the old one 15 years ago. It does not harm people or our people who are the most famous in purchases. He said seriously, so that everyone understood the situation. Alucard. We have tried to find out who does it but nothing, we do not even know who the important members of those 3 are. Zeus. But, what is the name of those 3 cartels that are at the top of everything? The god of thunder said, so that Azazel threw 3 folders that each had their name. Azazel. The first is called the Kilt, owners of all Japan and Kyoto, where we also do not know who the leader is, but we know that his trusted people have powers of ancient demons, like a girl who can create any weapon with her blood, the second a human who can transform into a being of fire, the third handles the spirits as their weapons. The fourth nobody knows, only says that he handles the power of ice like the Leviathan, and the last is someone who fears all demons. He said seriously and looking sideways at Xerxes, who looked at him. Azazel. His name is Denji, or known as the right hand of the leader of the Kilt, the chainsaw demon. He said seriously, and Xerxes opened his eyes in surprise, and he was not the only one, that everyone there was the same. Rah. Impossible, that dog thing with the saw had to be dead. The god of Egypt said, with fear. Azazel. I'm not lying, the poster of the Kilt has that monster. He said seriously, to show a picture of a boy's body, but his head had a chainsaw with a mouth and his eyes shining, and his hands two chainsaws on top of a mountain of corpses. Everyone was terrified to know that they have that monster. Tannen. This gets worse every time. Auden. 10 years, 10 miserable years enduring all the evil that we are paying for letting ourselves be carried away by power, by who saved us many times without asking for anything. The father of all said seriously, but regret was heard. Azazel. Well, we continue. The other is one highly wanted by the United States, Germany, Japan, France, Mexico, Canada, China, India, Brazil, and Peru, known as the Charlotte family. Nobody knows what the family is like, they only know that they have 5 daughters, that there is no information about them. He said seriously, so that everyone would nod. Xerxes. And the third? Azazel. The third is the same as the Charlotte family, wanted by everyone, and is called the Casillas family. They are both from the cartels like a mafia family, but we do not know who they are with the government, not even who is the leader, only has one name. He said seriously so that everyone could digest. All. And who is it? Azazel. The Lord of the Skies. All. The Lord of the Skies. Azazel. There is only that name, that is all the information I got, and now I am leaving. He said to stand up and leave, but someone spoke. Michael. Azazel, how's Gabriel? The angel said sadly. Azazel. She is still bad, she only wants Issei, and it is difficult to try to stop her from committing suicide, just like Penemu and Akeno. She said sadly to leave, just like everyone else went to their territories. But you will wonder what happened for all the factions to be in this critical situation. It was after all the factions gave the brown-haired boy banishment, everything was calm for all of them, spending the 5 years where the brown-haired boy's former harem had a child each, until the 5th Ivan got married, and the truth was revealed that Zamasu was Rizvan Livan Lucifer, leaving everyone in shock, and more to the exes, leaving them devastated, and Rizvan showed the videos of how he had Hex. With Graphia, Venelana, Lady Citri, Lady Phoenix, Lady Baal, leaving devastated, and more to the Gremory patriarchs, Citri, Baal, Phoenix. After the light came out, each faction was attacked by the new Chaos Brigade called the Cobra Cartel, where they were increasingly humiliated. And they decided to look for the brown-haired boy, but they did not find him in anything, and they sent searchers all over the world but nothing. Spending the years where the girls were breaking, but each one said they were the son of their Issei, but the bastards had the same genes as Rizvan, where they betray the factions, where they go with Rizvan, where the leaders were no longer respected in each faction, nor their people, where only 20% stayed with the leaders of each faction, while 80% of the people went to create a new civilization. With new leaders. Note. I want to say that I will change some things. The people of the supernatural world will be the same as the human population, 7 billion people, and that their territories will be the same as the states of the countries, end of note. But upon reaching year number 10, something devastated Graphia, Xerxes and Yusaka. They remembered their children, forgot about them, and went to see them, but what they saw destroyed the silver-haired, blonde-haired and red-haired more emotionally, was that they saw the children's room very abandoned and dusty. Yusaka and Xerxes sent everyone to look for it, and passing the 4 lost years, and today was 5 years. All of the brown-haired boy's exes plus his lovers are very broken psychologically, sentimentally. They only had one person, and that was Issei Hayato, and if he came back everything could go back to normal and have a happy ending, but they don't want to accept the harsh reality. But leaving everything aside, where is Issei? Place. You could see a very expensive house with many bodyguards, and the roof of that house had a helicopter platform. But inside this one could see 3 people, a brown-haired man, a white-haired man, and a silver-haired man, who were drinking coffee, but their faces could be seen from the tiredness they had. Boy. What a tremendous party there was for New Year's. Said the brown-haired man, to take a sip of his coffee. Boy too. What did you expect? If we were going to say goodbye for this year it had to be big. Said the white-haired man, with a smile, also taking a sip of his coffee. Boy 3. But the bad thing is that we couldn't invite the family and our children, because of the war against Cobra. Said the silver-haired man, drinking a strong coffee and watching the news on a tablet. Oh, you guys really can't stand a few. The lady's voice said, so the 3 of them could see it. The 3 of them. Hello Ma, hello Mrs. Alba. They said with a smile. Alba. Good morning, Issei, and short fuse. She said with a mother's smile, to the renowned Issei, and short fuse. N. Ma, how come you don't have a migraine and we do? Alba. Well, I drank slowly, not like you guys did like crazy. Short fuse. But we drank like 10, whereas you drank up to 20 bottles of pure vodka. You sure know how to hit hard. He said mockingly, but received a smack on the back of the head. Issei. Respect my mom, idiot. The brown-haired boy said, annoyed. Alba. Now you two can calm down, and son, have you called your wives? The food is ready outside and I'll wait for you," he said as he left within. The two finished drinking their coffee and went outside to a table outside the patio and saw 5 girls with brown hair with different types of hairstyles and eating some hot cakes. "Paramig. Hello dear," said the brunette with 2 collections standing up and approaching to give him a kiss that Issei reciprocated. "Paimig. Ni-san, don't get ahead of yourself." "Almig. Yes, you were with me at the New Year's party." "Akamig. We fell unconscious from drinking too much." "Nutmeg. Yes, what the others said," they said with a pout. "Paramig. Good thing I enjoyed doing it most of the night, fufufu," he said in his mind with a mischievous smile. So everyone went to eat until they finished breakfast, but they heard a call and everyone saw N talking on the phone and raised an eyebrow and saw Issei who raised an eyebrow to know who was talking to him. N. Pablo Escobar. Saying that, Issei, Short Fuse, and his wives looked at each other to nod for N to say loudly. Issei. Good. Pablo. Casillas, I'll tell you that the materials for your cocaine have already arrived in Kuo City. Hearing where Pablo left the materials, everyone made a face of annoyance. Issei. Escobar, why didn't you leave it on Kyoto Beach or in their waterfalls? Pablo. Casillas, you can't do what you want, but I need a favor from you. Issei. And what is that favor that you need? Pablo. Casillas, also of the materials, I left 20 tons of pure money so that he can get my family out of Colombia and put it in one of the Kilt Mafia's territories. Do you think you can give me a hand with that? He said a little desperate. Issei. Sure buddy, but tell me. What's wrong, are you in trouble or what? Pablo. Casillas, I'm really screwed with these people from the national government and the FBI, you're bothering me a lot that I have to fix this now, you go ahead with that turn, and as soon as I can, I'll talk to you again. He said to hang up. Short Fuse. That guy is not a wee at all. He said looking at his watch. He knows that they are following him and he always hangs up before 3 minutes. And knowing that they are going to shoot him. Alba. Huh. But what happened to him? Nutmeg. Doesn't he know what the news says? He said so that Alba shook her head and that Fiamig will take the tablet and show him the news. News. The entire national government, the CIA and the FBI are looking for Pablo Escobar, having him on the ropes and saying that very soon he will be behind bars in the United States prison. Almig. That's why we wear masks so our faces can't be seen by everyone. Being exposed would be risky and if someone knows about the existence of our children, they will give them a home and we are not going to allow that to happen. She said very seriously, so that Doña Alba nodded. Akamig. And the idiot made a call with a new cartel from Russia. It is unknown who the leader is, but one thing we are sure of is that in 4 hours Pablo Escobar will leave this world. She said seriously to snap one of her fingers. Alba. I see, it will be a big blow to your family. And what will they do, will they help your family, my son? Issei. Well, what do you think, Ma? They will have him very well in their sights, and more so because of the Russians. Don't you remember that time when they almost exterminated my in-laws? He said seriously, making the Charlotte sisters grimace with pure hatred. Paramig. Don't remind me that they almost killed Oka-san and Otu-san, that's why they ended the alliance of the cartels and mafias of Russia. Short Fuse. And the bad thing is, going to that place of demons and it won't be easy to go. He said seriously so that everyone nodded. At that, N calls a guard. What's up, sir? N. Prepare the helicopter, we're going to leave. He said seriously so that the guard nodded and left. Issei and his wives put on their masks to leave and Doña Alba gave him her blessing. Issei. We are going to disperse into 3 groups and we'll go with Makima to hold a meeting today. There will be a madness over the death of Pablo Escobar. Haramig, Fiamig, Almig, Akamig, Nutmeg will go for our allies, me, Short Fuse, and about 30 guards and 10 Treberg will go for the merchandise. He said seriously so everyone nodded seriously. Issei. No one will stop us, not even the governments, gringos, mafias, cartels, or factions, and everyone will know who Issei Casillas is, the Lord of the Skies. Everyone. R. It was the shout for everyone to leave the house. 3 hours later, Tokyo, Japan. In a somewhat large building you could see a red-haired girl with golden eyes and her pupils had 3 circles. He was reading some documents of his mafia business with his right-hand man and harem sister. Ingvald Leviathan. Ingvald. Makima-san, how do you think this is Issei-kun? He said looking at his boss. Makima. I don't know, but the bad thing is, I didn't spend the new year with my Issei and also with my son and all because of him war. He said sighing heavily, but the office door was open seeing N and a blonde. Makima. Oh, hello N, what are you doing here? N. Makima is about Pablo Escobar. He said seriously. Makima. What does it have to do with it that one will fall on all the poisonous ones? N. He called us in the morning, he told us that the materials arrived in Kuo. He said the last thing with venom, which Makima made a grimace of hatred as did Inglav and Denji. Makima. And who was it? N. Issei and short fuse. Inglav. Do you think you are sure that I will go? N. Don't worry, it will just be anger and return. Denji. And I don't think it was just to warn us, right? N. Yes, Issei says that we should go to Ma's house for a meeting about the chaos that will be caused by the death of Pablo Escobar. He said seriously, with his arms crossed. Makima. What's wrong, N? Are you perhaps upset? He said with a mocking smile. N. You know better or not read. He said looking at her. Makima. Or come on, nothing happens, just finish him and it is. He could not finish because a loud bang on the desk was heard and it was N who had her eyes in the shape of an X. N. Nothing happens. That nothing happens, don't come saying bullshit, you had him in front of your face, unarmed, and what you did, let him live, that was the worst mistake you have made, period hairs. He said with the purest hatred he had towards the Redeed, who got up from her seat looking at their faces and Makima's eyes turned bright red. Makima. And I respect you for being like a brother to Issei-kun, but don't raise your voice like that, because if you do this will be your last day of living. She said very upset and Ingvild and Denji wanted to stop this, but what they heard. N. No Makima, this small part is your fault and you know why, because you left that son of a hitch cape alive and now we are at war against him. N. I told you, Issei told you, we all told you, that you will kill that bastard cape, and what you did, that you did not give a shit and you let him live. N. And the mustachioed bastard came back for his revenge. I'll tell you the list of who killed, the feline, a sister for Jay who was devastated, the scissors, a friend until the end, the red, who saved us from imprisonment, the brothers of the Charlotte family, were massacred by bullets, and the sisters were the same, devastated, Jax and Mai. They were your two friends Makima as well as Denji, already powered, Heriberto, a second son for Ma, and finally the man who Doña Alba, my mother, was that he was making her the happiest woman of all, and what happened, that son of a hitch broke her neck and in front of mother who was devastated, and Issei and I were left with her. And now that bastard almost had a heart attack on my son and your son, and this is your fault for letting that damn capo live. He said, letting go of everything he had, looking at her, who had a darkened look, and Ingvild and Denji just stayed quiet. Then. I'll wait for you, and now I understand your words after all, the drug dealer's debts never die. He said to leave the office and being followed by Denji. Makima just sat in her chair touching her forehead and she spoke. Makima. Ingvild, tell me, do you think what I did was right? Or is everything that's happening really my fault? Tell me honestly. Ingvild. I wasn't there, but the part about our mother-in-law's wedding, I do think it was a bit your fault, and I'm telling you that with all my sincerity. She said to leave Makima's office, that the aforementioned was remembering that day. Flashback. Video of Aurelio killing the capo's son. Makima. Don't promise something you won't keep and let this be a lesson to you for trying to attack my son, you bastard. Corporal. Remember this, damn it. She said holding her son's dead body. That the drug dealer's debts never die. She said with a very sickly hatred. She grabbed the Redeed, who just smiled and said. Makima. Well, I'll wait for that debt. He said mockingly as he left with his men. End of flashback. Makima, remembering that, just punched the desk angrily. She has never made a mistake in her life, but this time it was the worst of all and the first. Makima. Corporal, I swear I will kill you, torture you, and go to Tartarus to break your soul, for my comrades. He said with pure hatred, his eyes shining brightly. But then, he was walking through the hallways of the building, still upset by everything he said to Makima, but he hugged her from behind and turned around, seeing a girl with short silver hair. Then, seeing her, smiled and turned around to hug her. Then. Hello dear. He said with a smile, but was hit in the stomach. Then. Arg, but what's wrong, woman? V. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You shouldn't have said that to Makima. He said, annoyed. Then. But who's to blame for leaving the corporal alive? V. I know, but you shouldn't have been too hard on her and told her the death of every ally we had just like that. N. Remained silent because what he said was true, who only gave a sigh. N. You're right, dear, when we go to my boss's house I will apologize for everything I said. V. That's how you talk, honey. He said to give her a kiss that N reciprocated. But a noise of a call was heard and N separated from the kiss and answered. N. Well. What, it seems the police fell on them, where are they? Fine, I'll go there. V. What happened? N. Apparently the place where Pablo Escobar put the materials was seen by the CIA and now they are attacking them, we have to go help them. He said to go with V to Makima's office to tell her the situation. But Issei. How the hell did all this happen? The brown-haired man said, firing an Alaska 47 with a short fuse. That damn Pablo didn't tell us that this damn city was full of FBI. The white-haired man said, firing an M16, killing 2 of them. Issei. How long until reinforcements arrive? He shouted to one of his guards. Guard. He told us that they are coming as quickly as possible. He said, but they heard some very loud footsteps, and the 3 of them saw 2 robot bulldozers with heavy machine guns. Short fuse. Mother fruit, here you go, tell the others to defend the materials, and give us 2 grenades. Said the white-haired man, so that the guard would give him the 2 grenades, along with a communicator to go inside the warehouse. Group leader. Surrender boxes, surrender. Issei short fuse. First dead. They said to throw the 2 grenades, grabbing the 2 bulldozers turning off. So the other soldiers shot at the 2 who were just taking cover, and sometimes they shoot to retreat a little. But then, 2 trucks appeared, one got in, and the other stood in front of the soldiers where the windows opened, and 2 projectiles came out destroying 2 groups of DBs and Treyberg, and V came out with a grenade launcher, and N with a MK-46, and another black hedgehog-shaped robot, carrying an AA-12. Image of the robot bristling. The robot trio began to shoot so that the soldiers began to retreat. V. Get in there you fruit children, the cargo is already secured. The silver-haired girl said, so they both got into the truck and then the 3 of them got in. The soldiers started shooting, but the bullets couldn't get through because it was an armored one, so they left along with the other truck which was bigger and was carrying some guards and the order. Group leader. Damn, don't let them lose it. Soldier. Sir, I was able to put a tracker on them. Group leader. Damn, we're going to go get them when it's night. Soldier. But sir, we have the mission of finding Pablo Escobar. Leader. I know, but everyone already knows and he has almost nowhere to hide, but now we will know who the leaders of the Casillas cartel are. I need you to call the leaders of the FBI and some from the United States. He said seriously, so the soldier nodded. Leader. The hunt has begun, brother better said the war has begun. He said seriously as he left with several soldiers and the soldier left, without knowing that one of them was talking on the phone. Spy soldier. Sir, they say that at night we will know who the leaders of the Casillas cartel are. What are we going to do? Unknown voice. Wait, we would be risking exposing ourselves, we have to wait until Pablo Escobar is 3 meters underground, do you understand? For now, keep us informed of everything they will do. Spy soldier. Sure boss. He said to hang up and that voice digested. Unknown voice. I hope you are in this meeting Makima, because I will look for you and look for you until you are dead with my own hands for killing my son, or I stop calling you the corporal. He said with a smile, now known as the corporal, the number 1 enemy of the Kilt Mafia and the Charlotte Mafia, and very soon, enemy of the Casillas. End of the prologue. Story 6. What if Issei was betrayed and becomes new leader of the Demon Slayer Corps? Chapter 1. The beginning of everything. In the city of Tokyo, in a very hidden place on the outskirts of Tokyo, there is a group of people with a young man who was dying due to his illness. This is none other than Kaguya Bayashiki. The leader of this demon hunter corps spoke in front of the pillars. Kaguya children, I have something to tell you, he said this while coughing up blood. Rengoku and what is pattern? Kaguya, I already have my new successor, he is a young man who is from the city of Kuo, he was my best childhood friend. Tenjin Yuzui, and who is that boss? Kaguya, his name is Issei Hyodo, he is the chosen one to be the new boss of the Demon Hunter Corps. Mitsuri, and how will we find him, sir? Kaguya will be recognized by his brown hair, he is my new successor. Tsunemi, well sir, we will go look for that young man. Kaguya, GG, thank you. Joe's like that dying. May everyone rest in peace, so that 3 days pass where the boss died and was buried, and they will avenge his death. A week later. Rengoku, hey, should N''T we go look for the new boss? Shinobu, you're right Kaijuro, if we don't look for him who will be the boss? You are well, we are waiting for the city of Kuo. So I went to look for the new boss in the city of Kuo. And meanwhile in the city of Kuo our protagonist was living happily with his family and wives and children who were 10, 5 were boys and 5 were girls, but meanwhile in the underworld were the leaders. In a meeting but out of nowhere a young man comes out. Sirs, who are you? My name is Arthur and I have come to tell you that your Red Emperor is a traitor. Michael, that's not true, Issei wouldn't be able to do this to us. Arturo, oh no, then what is this? Thus showing them a video where Issei is seen giving information to the Chaos Brigade, and in that the leaders could not believe their best friend and brother-in-law would betray them, but Azazel would not believe that video. Arturo, now they believe me. Azazel, I believe you and nothing. Issei would not do that. Isaka, I don't believe him either, Issei would never betray us. Sirs, I'm damn Issei, how can you do this to us? Michael, we have to notify everyone. Arturo, well, I am leaving. I'll leave you the video. In his thoughts, everything is going well, as my plan is going. Thus calling Gremory and Citri to taste as they arrived, he showed them the video, and in it everyone was shocked that their friend, husband and father had betrayed them, but his children do not believe anything in that video, and even less Azazel who tried to make them see reason, but could not, and then Issei was called to the academy once arriving with his children, and sees everyone except Azazel, who had a face of anger and hatred. Issei, what's up? Riaz, how you did that to us? Issei, what are you talking about? Riaz, what would make you the Kendo of betraying us and your children? Issei, what a thing I would never do, you have to believe me. Searches, then what is this? Thus showing him a video where he is seen. Issei, that's not true, I was with our children all the time, right kids? Elizabeth, who was the daughter of Riaz, who was 10 years old. Elizabeth, so mother, my father was with us all the time. Riaz, don't get involved, daughter, this is a matter between your father and us. Alan, who was the son of Akeno. Alan, of course we get involved because my dad would never do something like that. Searches, children, do not interfere, and you Issei give us Drag and her pieces of my sister now. Issei, I'm not going to give it to you, yawn, but it doesn't activate. Drag, I won't let you use my power. And he is brutally attacked on his feet and body, and in that they extract Drag and his pieces that he screams in pain. Riaz, now children will come with us. Estella, who was Asia's daughter and was 14 years old. Estella, no, we will not go with you, you hurt our father. Asia, come here, it's an order. Jocelyn, who was Kaneko's daughter, who is 12 years old. That's right, we won't leave our father. Issei, thank you children. Searches, then dies Issei. Thus launching a power of destruction, thus destroying the academy, but out of nowhere the pillars saw that and went to see what happened, but they see our protagonist along with several children who seem to be protecting them. Rengoku must be it, but he is injured, what do we do guys? Jayame, we need to help him more, we circa and apostrophe T let him get killed. And while with Issei he was badly injured, but his children who stand in front of him trying to protect him. Searches, your last words. Issei, damn, how do you do this to me? Riaz, go away children, not now, and I want to hurt you. Estella, you already did it. Hiroka then died too. So everyone is launching their attacks, but two voices are heard. Breath of the flame, fourth posture, wave of burning flames. Breath of love, sixth posture, loving breeze of kitten paws. Thus destroying everyone's attacks. Searches, but what? But now there are 9 young people in front of their children at Issei. Searches, who are you and what are you doing with that traitor? Yuzui, we will not tell them, but we will tell them that we will not let them hurt our boss. Ria's pattern of what they talk about. Akito is our new boss of the Demon Slayer Corps. And in that they were shocked that there was a group of people who hunted demons. Akeno, but why him if he betrayed us to the demons? Rengoku hurt our patron in a grape, you will have to die. Riaz, but they are nothing, they have no power, they are only humans, give us Issei and our children, and we will let them live. Issei, no, I will not give my children to traitors like you. Elizabeth, we will never leave our father, right brothers? That's all true. Jayame, and what are we doing now friends? Tomioka, we must take the children and the boss. Michael, we will not allow them to take the children. But out of nowhere Shinobu carries 4 children. Tenjin Yuzui to 3 and Jayame carries the other 3 and Rengoku to Issei, and before they were. Children are no longer our mother. This breaks the girl's hearts, but she throws herself towards the pillars, but they quickly escape. Leaving everyone impressed by his speed. And while in Tokyo the children were in a very nice and hidden house, and while Issei was being cared for by Shinobu and some doctors. Abanai, well children, now rest, tomorrow we will tell you everything. So the children are sleeping and Issei is resting. Chapter 2, I am the new boss. After Issei was treated the next day, Issei and Issei's children would wake up, but Issei did not know where he was. The only thing he remembered was that several young people had rescued him. Elizabeth, dad, are you okay hugging him like this? Issei, yes daughter, I'm fine, and where are your other brothers? Elizabeth is out there. But the pillars would come and tilt. Tsunemi, I'm glad you're in good shape boss. Issei, what pattern are you talking about? Rengoku, our former boss, told us that you were chosen as the new boss of the Demon Slayer Corps. Issei, and who was his boss? Abanai Irakugari Bayashiki. Issei, what happened to my childhood friend? A few minutes later, Issei and his children are seen at Kagari Bayashiki's grave. Issei has seen how he died, he said it with tears. Tenjin also left us a letter for you to have. Thus giving him a letter. Letter? Dear Issei, if you are reading this letter it is because my children gave it to you. When they see my grave, you will have many questions, but don't worry, my children, or rather, now your children, will give you the answers. I just want to tell you that now you are the new boss of the Demon Slayer Corps, and I ask you to wear my clothes that they will give you, and to use my last name, Yubayashiki, in my memory. Thank you for being my best childhood friend. I will always remember you. Sincerely, Kagari Yubayashiki, your childhood friend. Issei thank you Kagaya and I promise to be the best boss and I will use your last name in your memory. Rengoku, boss, come to the barracks and we will tell you everything. Issei okay let's go. Once in the barracks, he tells him everything about the demons and how they attack at night and that their leader is Muzan Kibutsuji, who is the demon king who creates the demons with his blood and the 12 upper moons and how to defeat them and about his immortality. He tells him about breathing and the pillars and the hunters. Issei, wow, I didn't know there were demons different from the ones we know. Tomioka what does pattern mean? Issei will see where I am the demons are good they do not eat humans, they eat human things and live like humans, and they do not die with the sun only a cross. Holy water or a sacred sword kills them and I was a demon and so he tells him everything about his adventures until the part of his betrayal by a video that he was guilty and he was not and that the children who were with him are his children. Jaime, I see, boss, your story is sad, now you will be in a safe place he said it with tears. Issei, thank you very much. Rengoku have a lord. Issei what is that? Rengoku was the outfit our patron used to wear. Issei well thus putting on the pattern suit suits me well. Rengoku I'm glad boss and you'll do well boss. Issei now my dear children our mission will be to destroy Muzan Kibutsuji. Oh yes sir and also what are your children's names? Issei good. My first daughter is called Elizabeth Hyodo Gremory. The second is Alan Hyodo Himejima. The third is the Hyodo Argento Stell. The fourth is Yoselin Hyodo. The fourth is Anna Hyodo Phoenix. The fifth is Tomas Hyodo. The sixth is Akame Hyodo. The seventh is Were Hyodo Shido. The eighth is Max Hyodo. The ninth is Irin Hyodo. And the 10th is Anna Hyodo. Fillers, it's a pleasure to meet you children. Anna is nothing and what are the breaths? Mitsuri the breaths are the elements of fire, water, wind, rock and lightning are all the breaths that there are. Issei that's incredible but by the way what are the names of my dear children? Everyone, our apologies boss, let us introduce ourselves. Water Hashira. Gyu Tomioka. Hashira of love. Mitsuri Kanroji. Snake Hashira. Abanai Guro. Wine Hashira. Sanemi Shinazagawa. Rock Hashira. Jaime Himejima. Sound Hashira. Tenjin Yuzui. Hashira of Mist. Michiro Takido. Insect Hashira. Shinobu Kacho. Issei nice to meet you my dear children. Tsunemi, well boss, what are you going to do now? As you surely know, those disgusting demons who betrayed you will be looking for you, but don't worry, we are in Tokyo, in a very hidden place. This is the headquarters of the Demon Hunter Corps. Issei, thank you very much, Samemi. Elizabeth dad we want to be trained by them. Issei are you sure children this training from what they told me is difficult. Anna, it doesn't matter, father, we just want to protect you too and it's possible that you could become the next pillars just like them. Issei knows and what do you think? Rengoku if they want we will train them boss. Akito will forget me so I have no problems. Issei good children will be trained by the pillars. Kids yes thanks dad. Shinobu, good for now, rest boss needs you to recover from your wounds. Issei yes thanks sleeping like this. And while with the children they were talking among themselves, but Shinobu arrives. Shinobu hello kids how are you? We are all fine miss. Shinobu I'm glad and tell me why your mothers wanted to kill you. Elizabeth because we protected our father and defended him from something he did not commit and that is why they wanted us dead. Shinobu, I see it's very sad what happened to the boss, but tell me, are you sure that the boss is innocent? Yes my dad is. Tomas, now we hate our mothers, in fact we don't even consider our mothers anymore. I just want my father to be okay and not have to go through that again. Shinobu, I'm glad you have very loving and supportive children. Max that's right, but when will we start with our training? Shinobu will begin her training tomorrow. I hope that they will be the strongest and that they can be the next pillars of the Demon Slayer Corps. Alan thank you miss. Shinobu, go rest, we will be hunting demons. Oh yes. Now in Issei's dreams he sees his former lovers betraying him and torturing him and he would wake up suddenly but go back to rest. Chapter 3 Have I been engaged? After they went to sleep the next day Issei and his children would wake up. Elizabeth dad good morning. Issei good morning children, let's have breakfast. So having breakfast and the pillars would arrive. Rengoku okay kids we are going to train them the girls will go with Shinobu and Mitsuri and the boys with me, Takido, Jaime, Tenjin and Sanemi. Oh alright. Issei take care of yourselves children. Alan goodbye dad. Issei would then be left alone in the barracks but out of nowhere a man would arrive with a young woman. Hello is there anyone? Issei hello what can I do for you? I would like to talk to you. Issei clear ahead. Already inside the place. Issei is well offered. You are the new boss of the Hunters Corps, right? Issei that is why the question. What happens is that you were chosen to marry my daughter. Issei, who eats like that and where he is, hasn't even told me his name. My apologies, my name is Max, I am the father of my daughter. Issei I see and who is your daughter? Max is her salt daughter. So a 19-year-old girl with blue hair and eyes of the same color came out and had bunny ears. Max's name is Shay Halia, she is my daughter, half human and half rabbit. Issei, I see, but I can't be his fiancé since I suffered when my 10 ex-fiancés betrayed me, and I already have children, I can't accept it. Max, it doesn't matter, he's still engaged to my daughter. What do you think? I'll give him a year to meet my daughter, and if he sees that she'll be a good mother for his children, he'll marry her. Issei, well, I think it's a good idea. Max, good daughter, you will live with him. Shay, very cool. Issei, well, thanks for understanding. Max, nothing is wrong, goodbye daughter. Shay, goodbye father. Issei, well Shay, now I'm your new fiancé, but first we have to get to know each other well, okay? Shay, good sir. Issei, you buy a shiki. Issei, better tell me. Issei. Shay, fine, but tell me why your ex-partners left a beautiful young man and his children. Issei, do you believe in the supernatural? Shay, yes of course. Issei, I was once a demon. This happened to me when I defeated a god called Loki. From there everything started. I was going well, I had married my harem, I had 10 children, 5 girls and 5 boys, everything was fine, but one day the demon king called Serges and the leader of the angels called Michael blamed me for something I did not commit, and more, my wives, instead of helping me, insulted me. They blamed me too, but children, they supported me and everything, and then I met my children, the pillars. They told me about Muzan Kibutsuji, that he is a true demon, and that my friend Kaguya Bayashiki died because he had a curse, and then now I use his last name in his memory, and now I am the new boss. He said this crying. Shay, I see it's very sad what you went through, Issei, but you have your children who supported you in everything. Issei, thank you. Shay, well Issei, what would you like to do? Issei, well, since my children are training, we will go for a walk for a while. Shay, well. So they would walk, and little by little they would get to know each other better. And while with the children they were training on the pillars. Rengoku, keep going like this, kids, you'll see that you'll become like us. Eren, seriously, Mr. Rengoku. Rengoku is such a child that burns your heart and surpasses your limits. Alan, Mr. Sanemi, how should I kill the demons? Sanemi, you must cut off their heads so they will die solemnly. Alan, I see, well brothers, we must continue. And while with the girls these were training with Shinobu and Mitsuri. Elizabeth, Lady Shinobu, how do you defeat the demons? Shinobu, I use poison on my katana so I kill the demons. Anna, Mrs. Mitsuri, because her katana is like a whip. Mitsuri, because let's say they turned her into a whip-shaped katana, but you have to keep training. All good. And while with Issei he was walking through the city. Shay, I see you like being here. Issei, that's right, it relaxes me a lot. Shay, I see, well, wouldn't you like to eat something? Issei, seems fine to me. So eating quietly but in another place. Arturo, well sir, phase 1 is already done. They betrayed the former Red Emperor. Well done Arthur. Arturo just needs to tell you everything. So soon they will know what it is to be a true demon king and what will come soon. Arturo, I'm leaving, sir. Returning with Issei in the afternoon, Issei is seen with Shay and his children, and the pillars would arrive. Elizabeth, we're back dad, and who is she? Issei, well children, she Shay Halia, I have been engaged to her, but I am getting to know her to see if I can marry her. Alan, I see, father, but why did you do it? We don't want to see you suffer again. Issei, couldn't son, I hope you accept him, and I also have a year to get to know her, I hope you get along with her children. Elizabeth, Claro, father. Shay, with them, they are your children, how cute they are, my name is Shay Halia, I hope we get along well. All equally. Issei, good pillars, how did it go with my children? The keto was difficult for them, but within 2 years they will achieve it. Issei, I see you're fine, you can go. That's how everyone would leave. Shay, well children want to eat. Elizabeth, clear. Shay, well, let me prepare something like that, grabbing something to eat and eating calmly and then going to sleep, but Issei would have the same nightmares again and wake up suddenly. Shay, are you okay? Issei, what happened? Issei, nothing but nightmares. Shay, son of your ex-partners, and what happened to you? Issei, that's right, I don't want to go through the same thing. Shay, I hope that one day you accept me and I can heal your heart from all the damage that was done to you by hugging it like this. Issei, thanks, I also think the same, but we have to keep resting. Chapter 4, Regret and Wedding. After everything that happened the next day, Issei would wake up as usual, and the pillars were fighting against the demons, and Shay went out with Issei, who little by little was falling in love with her, and Issei's children little by little were considering her their mother. After a year, Issei declared his love to Shay, who accepted, and then you see Issei and Shay at the altar and the pillars. Watching the wedding and their children sitting. Father, Issei, you buy a shiki, do you accept Shay Halia as your wife? Issei, accepted. Father, and you Shay accept Issei, you buy a shiki as your husband? Shay, accepted. Father, I pronounce you husband and wife. So celebrating the wedding with happiness and also spending their honeymoon after 2 weeks, Issei would start to feel bad and she realizes that she is pregnant, which she was happy about and told Issei, and he, out of happiness, tells his children and they became happy because they would have a new brother or sister. After 9 months Issei would give birth to a girl who they called Mayubayashiki. Issei is a cute little girl. Issei, that's right darling, I'm very happy. Later they would introduce him to the other children, who were happy like that for 8 years. And meanwhile, the leaders were desperate, but the girls were even more so, since, according to them, they could not find their husbands and children. And well, as we ended up like this, a flashback to 8 years ago. When the pillars escaped with Issei, Issei's exes joined Arthur, and after 5 months they were going to get married, only that Arthur was revealed to be one of the Chaos Brigade that had the objective of getting rid of the former Red Emperor, and this devastated the girls for getting carried away by something and losing their husband and children. After that Azazel and Yusaka and Aden broke the alliance with heaven and the underworld, which went badly for the two of them, but the problems were just arriving since the demons appeared, but these, instead of being renegades, they were different since they were humans with demonic abilities, and also that they were more powerful than them. And then Sergius and Michael sent their entire troop to look for Issei and the children, and that he forgives them and that he returns to be as before, and also Drake had turned out to be female, and that her name was Estella, and also that Irina became a fallen angel which devastated her more. End of flashback. Sergius, well, I called them because it's been 8 years and we haven't found Issei and my nephews. Michael, the last thing we saw before was those 9 young people, but they said that he was the new boss of the Demon Hunter Corps. Riaz, and what does that have to do with that? Where will my Issei be with our children? Sergius, calm down, but also the demons we have seen surpass the supreme class demons, but some say first waning or sixth waning. Michael, if only Azazel or Yusaka knew about this. Sergius, you are right, after what happened we already lost friendship with them, but we must continue looking for Issei. Alright. Sergius, well, this is how the meeting ends. This is how Michael will leave. Riaz, we will find you my Issei and we will be like before. And meanwhile with Issei, he was touring the place, but he sees a young woman almost hurt and almost losing her life. He quickly carries her and takes her to the barracks and is treated, and 9 hours later she would wake up. Where am I? Issei, you are in my house. I'm at your house. Issei, that's right, I found you hurt and I helped you. Thank you. Issei, well, what is your name? My name is Esdiat. Issei, cute name. My name is Issei Yubayashiki, I am the boss of the Demon Slayer Corps. Esdiat, the pleasure is mine and as demon hunters. Issei, well, let me tell you. So he told him everything about the hunters and demons. Esdiat, I see. Issei, tell me, for a while you were in that state. Esdiat, what happened is that my ex-boyfriend betrayed me with my sister and they both beat me until they got tired and threw me where you found me. Issei, I see, I'm sorry for what you went through, and tell me, do you have a place to live and are you hungry? Esdiat, no. Issei, well, you live in my house, come, I'll give you something to eat. But Issei would arrive. Issei, hello honey, and who is she? Issei, hello, this is Esdiat, I found her in bad condition and she will live here since her ex-boyfriend kicked her out of her house and hit her. Issei, I see, it's okay. I'll go see the baby. Issei, good. Esdiat did not know that he had a wife and a daughter. Issei, that's right, I got married 3 weeks ago. It's okay. Later, they would both go out for a walk for a while and get to know each other better. But meanwhile with Azazel, Yusaka and Aden, they look for Issei on their own, but they would go to Japan and see some demons, and they managed to eliminate him, but they managed to find him at home, and when they saw Issei. Azazel, Issei. Issei, ah, hello, and what do you want, father traitors? Yusaka waits. Issei, before that we let you tell us that we broke the alliance with the angels and the demons because they had betrayed you for something that you never committed. Issei, wait, you didn't betray me. Aden is like that, brat. Issei, I see, and how did you find me? Azazel was very difficult with it, you are not a demon and a dragon. Issei, I see, well, they will ask me why I am here. Yusaka, that's what you've done in these 8 years. Issei, tell me everything. So he tells them everything that happened and also about the demons that were different from what they know. Azazel, wow, I didn't know that, and who is she? Issei, oh my apologies, this is Issei Halia, my wife and my daughter Mayubayashiki. Yusaka, a lot. Issei, the pleasure is mine. Aden, and your children. Issei, ah, I forgot, they are now demon hunters and just a few more trainings will be the next pillars. Aden, okay, well, we withdraw. Issei, thank you, you have my support if in case the demons or the moon attack. Azazel, thanks. So they would leave, and while the leaders would decide to go to Japan to look for Issei, since it was the last place they had to travel to. Chapter 5, An Unwanted Encounter. After everything that happened in the underworld, all the leaders and the Gremory group are seen ready to go to Japan in search of Issei. Going to Japan searching all over the place, but as night falls, everyone is seen searching, but a demon comes out that attacks the leaders who throw their powers at them, but they see that they regenerate, and a crow is seen in a tree and goes to the barracks that it warns the pillars that they approach the barracks, but the pillars go to stop them, and also some helpers who would arrive quickly but the girls see the pillars. Rias, who are you? Wait, I already remember you. You are the ones who took my Issei and our children. Rengoku better give up. Surziches not until they take us to Issei. Shinobu okay go ahead guys. And then all the pillars come out, knocking everyone out, and the Kakusi tie them up and take them to the barracks at dawn. Kakusi hey wake up hey wake up you're going to stay asleep, I said wake up now. So everyone woke up seeing all the pillars. Imagine that there is Tomioka, Abanai and Sanemi. You damn people laugh. Kakusi hey more respect they are the 9 with the highest rank in the hunter corps. Surziches that is a pillar. Jaime let's end your misery. It has to be with style. Bakeno where is Issei and our children? Kakusi shut up like that hitting everyone. Mitsuri, excuse me, there is something that worries me. I find it hard to believe that the boss doesn't know anything about this. I don't think we should do anything without his permission. Surziches let's see Issei and his sons. Sanemi shut up like that cutting his face a little. But 2 girls speak. The master of the mansion has returned. So leaving Issei and all his children and Shay with her daughter in her arms walking to the front. Issei good morning everyone the day is very warm thank you for our current annual meeting, it is a pleasure. Michael is. But they are all thrown to the floor. Surziches, but what speed is he? But he sees all the leaning pillars. Sanemi, I am glad that you are in good health. I have remained fertile so that you and your wife can have a reward. At that everyone was amazed that Issei now has a wife. Issei, I would really appreciate it, Sanemi. But Suri, I was thinking of saying the same thing and I wanted to be the first to greet her. Surge's mind what's wrong with that white-haired guy he spoke arrogantly, but with Issei he spoke in a respectful manner. Sanemi, if you allow me, boss, what should we do with these demons who were about to discover our base? Issei, of course, I have told myself and we have to talk about it first, so my dear children stay silent and do nothing until you see if you do something about it with them and good leaders that are offered to them. Rias my Issei children are here how good it is to go back. Issei, seriously, after everything they did to me, they come as if nothing happened to ask me for forgiveness, they don't know what I went through for these 8 years, but my wife Shay, she was the one who healed my heart. And they were all in a fit of jealousy. Rias you can't do this to us. Asia you are our husband and our children who? Irin shut up we accept our new mother she loves us, and our father loves us. Rias Issei who do you choose that hitcher us? Issei to my wife Shay and Shay. All of them, why would I worry about her? Issei because I worry about her morning, afternoon and night I worry about her Shay is who I want. All of them and not the mother of your children. Issei leaves the children aside. They're all fine not just the women you married. Issei I refuse to continue with that. All if we don't give you no one will have you. And in that they all use their power but are knocked out by the pillars. Sanemi, we will not let them hurt the boss anymore. Issei good leaders who are looking for the most. Surges please forgive us Issei. Machel, what do you think of Eradim games? If you win we will leave you alone, but if you lose you will come back to us and leave your wives. Issei accepts well, but my children will fight. Surges well it will be within 10 days. Issei well Kakusi knock them out and take them where you found them. Mikhail hopes that. But they were also knocked out and were thrown into the forest furthest from the barracks. Shinobu tell me boss do you want to peel? Issei, good children, your Shinobu and Rengoku and Tenjin Yuzui will fight. Shinobu Rengoku Tenjin Yuzui. Yes pattern. Issei, well, children can go. So everyone would leave, Issei with his children and wife, but Issei is seen crying. Shay honey are you okay? Issei can you believe it, they betray me, and then they look for me as if nothing happened, and they ask me for forgiveness after everything that happened. Shay honey, it's over, honey, you shouldn't feel bad. Issei, thank you, love, but I would like to go to Kuo City to pick up my parents and meet them and their new granddaughter. He said this while carrying Mayu. Issei well my children I'm sorry that you heard everything. Elizabeth, nothing's wrong, Dad. I'm glad we now have a real mother who truly loves us. Issei of course. And while in the underworld you see the leaders waking up the girls who ask them what happened and tell them everything that happened and they decide to train more so that Issei returns, but they would remember Issei's wife who is in a fit of jealousy and they want her Issei and her children to return. After 10 days you see Issei and the pillars. Issei well Shilo, Rengoku, they will fight. Shay love let me peel you too I want to make you suffer too. Issei good love. All set. Chapter 6. Eradim games and a visit to a friend. After what happened, Shinobu and Tenjin Yuzui, Shay and Rengoku go to the underworld. Issei ready my dear children. You're more than ready, boss. Issei, good luck. So they would go to the sand field where there was a forest, and on another side where Azazel and Yasaka were on the side of the other pillars. Rafia, welcome to this random games and the Issei Yubayashiki team. They are Tenjin Yuzui, Shinobu Kacho, Kaijuro Ringoku and Shei Halia. Thus, Issei's desire came out, and where the girls, seeing Shei, thought they had the opportunity to kill her for, according to them, stealing their Issei. Rafia is fine, and on the other side is the Gremory group and the Mo's leaders. So they left. Rafia, good start. Thus starting the fight where Shinobu and Shei would go with the girls and Ringoku and Tenjin with Sersius and Michael. Let's go with the Gremory group, you were in front of the two. Rias, now I can kill you because of you. Issei no longer loves us, and not even our children. Shei decided that they left him for something that was not true, and they were also going to kill his children. You are not worthy of being called mothers. Hiroka, shut up, keep them. Also that movie Murata will not be able to, since his katana is very fragile, it will be easy. And in that Shei uses her hammer and hits each of the girls who were launching attacks at her, some of them hurting her, and then you see the Gremory girls a little hurt and Shei too, but Shinobu uses her katana and everyone started to fall. Shinobu, what's wrong with you now? I know the poison that my katana has. Cursed Arena. But they fall unconscious for 2 minutes and wake up and see Shinobu. Shinobu mashi with her smile that showed a marked smile. And tell me I hear you. I'll give up falling unconscious again, and she gives them the antidote. Rafia, the Gremory team has been eliminated. They were in shock that 2 girls defeated the Gremory. And we go with Ringoku and Tenjin. Sersius, it's time to be defeated and for Issei to return to us. Tenjin, I'm sorry, but that won't be impossible since you will see your blood in a dramatic way, it will be quite a spectacle. Michael will now be eliminated. And then the two launch their best attacks. Ringoku flame breathing forth stance wave of burning flames. Thus making a circle covering themselves from the attack. Sersius, impossible. Michael, doesn't matter. And then the two of them fly and launch their attacks, and while Ringoku and Tenj dodge them very easily, they decided to do it all at once so as not to be boring, and both of them are cut in the chest and both full wounded and also unconscious to the ground. Rafia can't be, the Mo's have been eliminated. The winner is Issei Yubayashiki. So Issei would leave the underworld, leaving the others to recover. The next day Issei would go to a zoo with his wife and daughter, but they see a penguin looking at an image of an anime character. Issei, excuse me, do you know what's going on there? The penguin is called Great Kun, who fell in love with that cardboard called Hululu, an anime character, because he is young and is his girlfriend. Issei, I would like to take both of you, I would like to take care of him. Of course, yes. So after several hours Issei takes the two, and Azazel would arrive at the Yubayashiki mansion. Azazel, and what is the call about? Issei, to see if the penguin can be made into a hybrid human and penguin, and also a woman who is in the image, also a hybrid of penguin and human. Azazel, of course I can, but it will take me 2 or more to be ready. So he takes some blood and creates a copy of the image and the penguin and leaves the place. 3 weeks later. Azazel would arrive. Issei, and what happened? Azazel is ready, he just needs to pass the consciousness to the two of them. Issei, good. So they took them, and after about 4 hours the penguin would be changed to an 18-year-old white-haired boy, half human and half penguin. And his girlfriend Hululu would be the same as the image, a 19-year-old girl, half penguin and human. Grape Con, Hululu, is it really you? Hululu, grape, I'm happy to be together. Grape, as best as possible. Issei, I have the answers, I changed you into a human form and also your girlfriend, my dear son. Grape, I really appreciate it. Issei, thank you for giving life to my partner father. Issei is nothing, he just wants your dream to come true. Hululu, I really appreciate you for letting me be with my boyfriend. Issei is nothing, they will live with me. Grape, I thank you very much, father. Azazel, I hope you two are happy. Hululu, I really appreciate it. So they would go to the Yubayashiki mansion, and Issei would tell them everything that happened, and they were shocked by what Azazel did, but they were also happy that the grape was next to his partner. And while with the leaders they were talking about Issei and the demons that attack more and more. And back with Issei. This one was with his wife on the traders. Shei, and what will you do now? Issei is going to help those who did not leave me with the upper moon's darling. And now my children are the pillars now, and we must know where the base of Muzan Kibutsuji is to end this. Shei, that's right, darling. But Grape and Hululu would arrive. Grape arrives, father. Issei, how did your date go? Hululu, was fun. Issei, I'm happy for you. Grape, and also in 2 weeks there will be a wedding for both of us. Issei, I'm very happy, my dear son. Hululu, I thank you very much, father, for giving us the opportunity to be together forever. Issei, you have to rest. So resting. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.